Phillips Arena in Atlanta as we get set for the Hawks and Toronto Raptors tonight. Let's meet this evening's starting lineups. First of all, for the homestanding Atlanta Hawks, winners of 2 straight and unbeaten here in Phillips Arena this season, 3-0. Jason Terry opens at the point with Ira Newble. Theo Radliff at center tonight. The big dog, Glenn Robinson, and Sharif Abdur-Rahim, the forwards, and both forwards averaging over 20 points per game. Glenn Robinson leads the team at 22.3, but Sharif, based on his last 3 games, right behind him at 21.3. Sharif has been outstanding over the past 3 games, coming off a 27-point performance against New Orleans here on Saturday. Toronto played yesterday at home, lost to Utah 82-78. They come to Atlanta with a 4-5 record, 1-3 on the road. Alvin Williams is their point guard. They've really had to shuffle the deck due to all the injuries. They have but 9 available players tonight, so Morris Peterson will drop to the backcourt and play at the 2 guard. Jelani McCoy opens at center with Jerome Williams at the small forward and Antonio Davis at the power forward, so that Antonio Davis-Sharif Abdur-Rahim matchup should be a good one right out of the gate.
Bob, I think that's the key matchup. You know, for the Atlanta Hawks, Sharif Abdur-Rahim makes the defense contract and makes life easier for all the perimeter players. You have the same kind of situation for the Raptors. Antonio Davis is their leader. He's the guy that is the focal point on the offensive end and the defensive end. So those are the 2 respective keys.
Lenny Wilkins, the former Hawks head man, guiding the Raptors in an injury-depleted roster that he has. He's without, of course, his big star, Vince Carter, out for another 3 weeks with a left quad injury. He also has lost Mamadou Ndiaye to injury. Nate Huffman, Lindsey Hunter got hurt yesterday in the Utah game. He didn't make the trip. Plus, Eric Montross, Lamont Murray already on the injured list. Olajuwon retired. So you have tonight for Lenny Wilkins 9 available bodies to take on the Hawks tonight. Lon Kruger's team playing great, as healthy as they've been in years. Just Nazr Mohammed, the only man out. Of course, we use DeMar as an exception to that rule, of course, with the automobile accident. But in terms of the injured players to come back, Nazr, the only one in dry dock right now. So Lon and the coaching staff feeling really good about things, the way this club is starting to come together.
Indeed, Bob. And the Hawks, as a result, have many more weapons. They're much more explosive. They want to run the ball up and down the court and make exciting things happen. They feel that's to their advantage. On the other hand, look for Coach Wilkins to try to move the basketball around, play a little bit more conservatively, and play good, hard defense to force some turnovers from the Hawks.
The referees assigned by the NBA, Messrs. Forte, Hollins, and Mott. Here we go. Theo Radliff against Jelani McCoy. The tip is won by Atlanta. Alvin Williams matched up against Jason Terry, and a steal right off the bat.
Well, that's what we're talking about by forcing turnovers. Williams is an outstanding defensive player, whether he's guarding the 1 guard or the 2 guard, or even possibly a small forward. Just plays good, hard defense.
Peterson down the lane to score. Mo Pete puts Toronto on top. We talked about that good, aggressive Toronto D, Mike. In one game earlier against Chicago, Toronto came up with 17 steals.
Wow.
JT lobbing it in to Theo. Radliff against McCoy, jumps over him and ties the game.
Well, Theo, with a lot of experience over McCoy, had no double team, of course, and able to shoot a nice little turnaround jump shot.
Peterson inside to McCoy. He was with the Lakers last season. Now Davis to Alvin Williams. Antonio drives it, shoots it over Theo. Junkyard Dog is there, and Jerome Williams with the offensive rebound. This ball club can do a lot of damage on the offensive glass. Williams, big dog in a sea of purple shirts, turns it over.
Indeed, they did a good job of getting back, Bob. And you were talking about Jerome Williams. He's the guy who's in there to play D and rebound. That's the only reason he's in the game, really.
And comes up with this one, but into the hands of Newble. He is a hustler supreme.
Yes.
On the bounce, Sharif gets the slam. The Raptors have but 2 guards tonight. Vashawn Leonard had been starting, but he'll come off the bench tonight and forced to play the point to back up Alvin Williams. Alvin slides it to the baseline. Jerome Williams goes in and gets fouled by Theo Radliff. Alvin Williams in his 6th NBA season, continues to improve. He's on the All-Star ballot for the first time in his career, and I think Mike deservedly so.
Oh, absolutely, Bob. This is a guy who plays the hard defense and will take the big shots for you. Last year down the stretch, Lon Kruger put Ira Newble on Alvin Williams. That shows you the kind of respect he had for Williams coming down the stretch offensively. But defensively, he's just as tough. Plays a good, hard, solid game for Lenny Wilkens.
And he's one of those guys that might miss 10 shots in a row, but you come down the fourth quarter, and he'll hit the big shot to win the game. He did that against the Hawks last season in Toronto. Hit a jumper with 1.5 to go in overtime that gave the Raptors a hard-fought win over the Hawks.
And you got to have a certain kind of almost a don't-care type attitude, Bob, to be able to do that, to not shoot so well early and still take the big shot with confidence and in rhythm. And it's special players that have that ability, and he's one of them.
Jason Terry with an easy jump shot. Ties the game at 6.
JT realizing they're short on point guards. Williams, not the truest point guard in the world, but gets the job done at that position.
Here's McCoy going into the paint. Tip up and in. There's Jerome Williams again. The man they call the junkyard dog, Jerome Williams. Puts the Raptors in front, 8-6. Sharif lines it up. Not a lot of defensive pressure by Toronto.
No, good little screen, brush screen by Jason Terry, giving that ball to Sharif.
Alvin Williams fires and hits. Averaging 15 a game, but with Vince Carter out, Vince lost to the club for another 3 weeks. Alvin Williams averaging 19.2 per game. Hawks have hit 3 of their first 4, still trail by 4. Here's the matchup you were talking about, Mike, and this time Sharif goes right around Antonio Davis and dunks it.
Antonio complaining, saying that Sharif knocked his arm down in order to go around him. Can't really guard with your arms anyway. That would be an automatic foul if you're guarding with your arms extended, but kind of lost his balance, and Sharif got an easy one.
Well, the Hawks have hit 4 out of 5. Raptors lead by 2. Peterson to Williams. Now Williams looking for Antonio Davis. He and Sharif getting physical on the block.
Yes, they are.
And a whistle and a travel against Antonio Davis.
Well, right now it's just been frustration city for Antonio Davis. On the one end, Sharif gets position, and he says Sharif knocks his arm down and kind of throws him off balance. Let's take a look here. I don't know. Sharif looks like a pretty good move.
Maybe that forearm to the chest that knocked him back 2 feet. May have gotten his attention.
Right.
Here's JT trying to create some room. Into Theo. Ratliff takes it up strong, uses glass. And that's his second field goal tonight.
Theo just explosive with the leap, Bob, just jumping over everybody, gliding in to get that one off the glass.
Even at 10, Alvin Williams for 2. A 43% shooter. The Raptors next to last in the NBA at 39%. They're shooting it well to start this first quarter. And now a foul inside on Antonio Davis.
Wow, well, the frustration continues as that key matchup is beginning to unfold, and Sharif has the early advantage.
Sharif holds high. Now on the curl, Glenn Robinson. To Ratliff. Theo gets it back and dunks it. I'm not sure how he got it back. Again, Antonio Davis hit the deck. Theo has 6 in the opening quarter. The Hawks and Raptors are tied at 12. Newble pressuring Peterson, and a foul on Ira Newble. More NBA basketball coming up. The next Hawks home game will be Wednesday night. We'll have it for you here on Fox, but if you can't join us, come on down to Phillips. The Hawks and Minnesota Timberwolves at 7:30, College Night Wednesday. For tickets, call 404-827-DUNK. Alvin Williams. Hard bounce to the cutting Peterson. And another foul. This one will come against the Hawks. Theo Ratliff the guilty party, and that will be his second.
Well, you have to like the way Peterson is playing right now for the Toronto Raptors, Bob. He's challenging in the lane. That's the second time we've seen him go right down the lane in front of the big people. He has a nice little runner and a floater that even Theo Ratliff has trouble blocking. gets a foul and gets to the free throw line. And this is a guy that likes to shoot the three-point shot around the perimeter, but he is really helping himself and his team by early going into the lane and challenging and getting Theo Ratliff out of the game, who is having a very outstanding game thus far.
Theo had a couple of departing comments for Rodney Mott. Alan Henderson comes in to take his spot. The free throws for Peterson. He missed the first and hits the second. 3 points for Mo Pete, 13-12 Toronto. Jason Terry with daylight. Hindu keeps it alive. Allen looks back up top to Jason Terry. Into a corner. Passes out now to Henderson, who hits the jump shot.
So far, the Raptors are doing a very poor job on the pick and roll, and Lenny Wilkins pacing the floor now, talking to his big people on the bench. When Jason Terry's coming off a screen, Bob, they're either not showing it at all, or everybody's going to JT, and that time leaving Henderson wide open. He's going to get McCoy out of the game doing such a poor job defensively.
14-13. Antonio Davis rolls it over the rim into the hands of Jason Terry. JT gives to Sharif. Sharif shake and bake. Oh, he got beautiful pump fake and one. Peterson the foul.
Outstanding move, continuing his good play. You take a look, giving a couple of shoulder fakes right there, and then a pump fake gets Peterson airborne. You give a guy 2 or 3 quick fakes, Bob, you've got him lost by that time. And he gave 2 quality fakes, and the last one got him an opportunity for a 3-point play.
So Jelani McCoy goes out, and Lenny takes time to lecture the young man at the Toronto bench. There's 2 things you can expect out of a Lenny Wilkins ball club. One, they're going to be very good defensively.
Yeah.
And number 2, it's going to be a guard-oriented attack.
Yes. Yeah, indeed it is. And right now still trying to get Mo Pete some more looks, Bob.
Peterson goes down, calls a timeout. So rather than lose the ball on a potential turnover, Peterson takes a timeout, and Lenny says we'll make it a full timeout. So with 6:09 to go in the opening quarter, the Hawks have constructed an early 4-point lead over the Raptors.
Hey, settle down. Now don't worry. If Keyshawn Johnson said he'll be here, he'll be here.
We'd like to welcome in a guy who always finds time to be on the show, Keyshawn Johnson.
Introducing a new idea from America Online. New America Online 8.0. We listened to everything you asked for and designed new AOL 8.0 with better, more personal ways to stay close to the people you care about, the things that matter most, and to do it all more easily and more safely. AOL 8.0. It's not just a new version. It's a whole new vision.
Welcome.
Meet Randolph Smiley. He once was rich. He once was famous. And he once was sane.
Get me Smoochie.
Now, the only way to take back his career is to take down his replacement. Cat to Smoochie.
Order it now on Blockbuster pay-per-view movies.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Not a great deal of resistance defensively by Toronto in the opening minutes.
Lenny Wilkins is not pleased with that. Jelani McCoy, who's not played this screen and roll well at all, this time both players go to Jason Terry, and wide open is Alan Henderson. I mean, that's a 16-foot jumper. He knocks that one down, and because of the second consecutive offense, McCoy taken out of the ballgame.
Hawks have hit 8 of 10 to start the game and lead by 4. Here's Williams at the end of the clock missing. Jason Terry to rebound, looking for something in transition. And goes to the big dog. Shoots over Williams, in and out. 17-13, Atlanta. JT bids for the steal. They're having some ball handling problems now. Sharif over to JT for the dunk. Not having the guard depth tonight could be fatal for Toronto.
Certainly could, and Ira Newble giving a good hand right there as JT had the ball bobbling.
Only 9 available for this game for the Raptors, and 2 what you'd call legit guards by trade. I view Peterson more as a 3-man.
More as a small forward. That's correct.
Alvin Williams off with the 3, and Robinson gives to Jason Terry. I'm glad you agree with me on things, Stinger. I appreciate that.
Righty partner. Every now and then.
Sharif just bodied by Foster all over the paint. And Greg Foster, the former Hawk, picking up his first foul.
Foster, very serviceable, Bob, has played a lot of the center position. Good defensive player. Sharif, a tough matchup for anybody. And right now, they, of course, Antonio Davis guarding Sharif.
And that puts Jerome Williams on the big dog. And a reach-in foul on Antonio. And that will be the second foul on Davis. Well, the last thing the Raptors need tonight is foul difficulty.
Indeed.
And again, Lenny goes to the bench and gets Michael Bradley. So Antonio has to come out of the game. Well, you wonder who's going to do the scoring for this unit on the floor.
Indeed, they're pretty deep into that bench already, and not a lot over there because of the injuries anyway.
So Big Dog going to work, shoots over Foster and rolls it off. Bradley clears. So one Villanova Wildcat gives to another, Alvin Williams. This Toronto club yesterday against Utah scored only 78 points and a franchise low 28 in the first half. There's a 3 for Mo Peterson.
That's why, Bob, I think it's so important for the Hawks to continue to push the ball. Team sort of offensively challenged, short-handed. Make it a 105-point game. Just push the ball up and down. They can't keep that pace up. They just don't have the firepower to match that kind of effort.
Nor can the Hawks be lulled into a false sense of security that just because they have a big manpower advantage, they think that Toronto's just going to roll over and die.
Absolutely. You got to take it. I mean, you got to just turn up the volume and the intensity and let that be the challenge for the Raptors to match that.
JT. Here's Sharif. Had the shot. Gave it up to the corner, and Ira Newble. Raptors can get the lead back with a basket here. Playing without their big star Vince Carter. They've gone 3-3 in his absence. Take away by Hindu. Toss ahead to Sharif. And another dunk. That is the 5th dunk of the first quarter by Atlanta.
And this time, Bob, the Hawks getting some transition fast breaks and dunks. Rather than we've seen them turn it over several times and give that to the opponent tonight. They're the team getting those dunks.
So the Hawks getting the advantage inside thanks to all those dunks. We now have a foul on Atlanta. And it's on Ira Newble, his second. So Deion Glover comes in quickly. And Ira to the bench. 2 starters with 2 fouls apiece. Newble joining Radliff on the bench. 23 to play. First quarter, 21-18 Atlanta. Here's Foster. Back to the basket. Now shoots and hits. Greg Foster with a couple of field goals.
And right now the Raptors on offense, Bob, just trying to score somehow. Just get a little movement, let somebody try their hands, see what they can do.
Hindu had it stripped. Raptors come away. Here's Foster from the wing. Just missed that one. Bradley saves it. And thrown away. A timeout. Sharif Abdul-Rahim with 4 field goals in the opening quarter, 3 of them on dunks. Timeout at Phillips.
What makes bodies in motion remain in motion? What makes what goes up stay up? And what makes what goes down
Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. You have the results. But first, Florence, would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
Queen's fine.
I will tell you about my Get Out of Nebraska shirt. I was at a thrift store in Wayne, Nebraska, and I stumbled upon this incredibly gaudy orange-striped shirt that I thought was hideous at the time, and I wore it out to the bar, and all my friends said, hey, man, if you wear that shirt, you're going to have to leave Nebraska. You can't wear that shirt here. It sort of just, I don't know, it fueled me to get out of Nebraska and come to the big town here.
Bass. A taste for more.
The Atlanta Hawks with a 1-point lead, but the transition offense has really favored the Atlanta Hawks and has helped them to get some easy shots. Sharif Abdur-Rahim on this drive-by dunk, and on this play, just finding a loose change right here. It's Theo Ratliff who slams it home. JT needing a little help from Ira, no problem. They finally pitched the ball ahead, and this time Jason Terry with yet another slam dunk.
Sharif with 9 early. Coming off a 27-point night against New Orleans. Sharif really picked up his game on the West Coast trip. And Laura Oatman, that was a bonding time for this Hawks outfit.
It sure was, Bob. A lot of teams would look at the Hawks' early schedule and wince. West Coast swing right off the bat. Tough schedule, tough team. But Jason Terry told me it was one of the best things for this team, who's trying to get to know each other on the court and especially off the court. JT saying the guys went out to dinner together, they watched movies together, in general, just great bonding.
They didn't invite you and I to.
No, I would have gladly gone.
Yeah, absolutely, especially if they're picking up the check.
Key point.
Right.
But it is tough. You look at that schedule, and Sharif unable to come up with it. Here's Bradley missing, and he's fouled by Sharif. But you look at that schedule, and the Hawks had 6 of their first 8 on the road, and of those 6 at New Jersey, at Sacramento, at Los Angeles Lakers. That would be very taxing for an elite team.
Yes, it sure would. And I think Laura got an excellent point from Jason Terry that it was an opportunity for them to kind of bond, spend some time together early in the season, form an identity. That's what a good team has to have, a style of play. Who are you? How do you play? How do you win? And I think part of that formula that has been established, Bob, is Sharif is still the offensive focal point. They know you have to go through Sharif, let him get involved with the offense, and work from there.
We saw Glenn Robinson come out of the gate with 3 straight 30-plus point games. And I think the notion was that maybe Dog would be the #1 guy, but it only took a few games to reestablish Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And even if Sharif doesn't lead you in scoring, you just got to run that offense through him. It just makes the defense contract, makes players give help, and makes life easier for everybody.
It's nice, though, to learn all these things about your ball club and win games in the process.
It certainly is, and the quicker you learn them, the better.
Here's Foster against Henderson.
Good D. Henderson, the best defensive post player. Look at that D.
No shot.
No, sir. And challenge that one.
And comes up with the rebound.
Yes, indeed.
Excellent sequence for Allen Henderson.
Yeah.
Hawks have hit 12 of 18 in the period. Glover trying to get into the act and does.
And you know, Glover, we're talking about people fitting into roles. Glover's fitting pretty comfortable into the role he's been playing here this season. Coming off the bench, kind of that 6th man, free to give some offensive input and taking the ball to the basket, making good decisions offensively.
Rashawn Leonard into the game, misses. Diamond Ham rebounds. Glover has been the Hawks' top scorer off the bench this year. Had a fine game against New Orleans, 9 points and 5 rebounds. JT on a bounce back to Sharif.
Yes. Sharif just stomping home perimeter jumpers. Unstoppable when he has that shot going from the perimeter as well.
Alvin Williams calling the play. Shot clock just ahead of the game clock as we approach the end of the opening period. 29-22 Atlanta. Intercepted by Sharif. Peterson right on his tail. Sharif with another dunk. A 15-point opening quarter for Sharif.
Boy, that executed
and
well.
Knocked down by JT. He puts it up and off, and he'll shoot 2. Boy, how about these Hawks attacking at the end of the period?
Indeed, an outstanding spurt. I like the little defensive move that Lon Kruger has used this year, double-teaming the ball, and Sharif anticipating. He says the double team comes from my side, ball's coming my way. Gets in the passing lane, gets the slam dunk. JT follows it up with another steal.
JT with his 7th point, as the Hawks had put 32 on the Raptors here in the first period.
And Bob, it was a one-point game. Seems like no time ago, but the Hawks just have that big spurt and took a commanding lead to close out this quarter.
Toronto with a second to go, and Jason Terry may have gotten away with a reach-in.
Yes.
No harm, no foul, as we like to say.
Didn't see a thing.
What a quarter for Sharif. 15 points on the heels of a big night Saturday. We're at the end of one in Atlanta, and it's been all Atlanta. Hawks 33, Raptors 22 on Fox Sports Net.
Rhinos look like this, not like this. If their armor weren't attached, it wouldn't protect them and could even fall off. Drop-in truck bed liners aren't attached either and cause lots of problems. But Rhino Lining's polyurethane truck bed linings are sprayed on up to a 1/4 inch thick and won't crack or warp. They're warranted by your dealer for as long as you own your truck. Drop-in liners trap water underneath, causing rust. Water can't get under a Rhino lining. It prevents rust. Drop-in liners shift around, damaging paint.
13 years, 200,000 miles, and 2 engines. But still the original Rhino lining.
So get the toughness of a Rhino's armor to protect your truck. Call now for a free sample of Tough Stuff, information, and the Rhino Linings dealer nearest you. During our super sale, get $30 off a new Rhino lining and get a free 4-wheel and off-road ultimate adventure pen set.
I want my child to experience the wonderful things available online, but her safety is important to me. That's why we chose America Online. AOL invented parental controls and made it even easier to use. I can set limits, who she can talk to, where she can visit, no different than our other rules around the house. I trust AOL. I feel better knowing she's safer. After all, she's my baby.
Better parental controls on America Online 8.0.
It's simple. It's easy. Get the best pay-per-view titles in the comfort of your home with Blockbuster pay-per-view movies. You can order from a huge selection of new movies every week. With frequent start times and digital technology, you get immediate movie satisfaction any time of day. And you never need to pick up the phone. Just order using your remote. For complete listings, consult your on-screen guide starting at Channel 100 or log on to our website. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Sharif on fire, and the Hawks with an 11-point lead over Toronto. Abdul Rahim getting his first breather, played the entire quarter, and has led the Hawks to this double-digit lead. As we start period 2, the Hawks ended the quarter on a 12-2 run and made their last 6 shots. Greg Foster moving in on Theo. And a drop.
Foster playing well, Bob. It's probably been many, many years when he's gotten this many touches on the inside and been called upon to try your offense, see what you got.
Raptors saying, we need you, big fella.
Indeed.
Hawks turn it over. Just the 4th tonight for Atlanta. Alvin Williams wide open, nails it. 6 points for Alvin Williams. Alvin and his first career triple-double against the Hawks 2 years ago, and has always played very well against Atlanta. Now we have a whistle, and Dion Glover has been spotted for an offensive foul. More Hawks on TV for you right here on Wednesday night. Kevin Garnett said the Minnesota Timberwolves will be here at 7:30. Catch all the action on Fox Sports Net. Then a weekend set with the Celtics on UPN Atlanta Friday, Turner South Saturday. Here is Vashawn Leonard. Williams to the corner. Peterson for 3. Good. Mo Pete with his second 3-pointer, and the Raptors are within 5.
Pretty good ball movement on that play by the Raptors. Still scoring by committee, just looking for somebody to knock down a couple of shots, found a couple of answers.
Alan Henderson. Henderson shooting 57% this season off the Atlanta bench. That last shot by Peterson was judged to be a 2 rather than a 3. So 35-28 is our score, Atlanta. Bradley lost the dribble, got it back. The handoff, Peterson, 2 on the clock. Bradley, and that's going to be an offensive foul. Darvin Ham takes the charge.
Well, Darvin Ham, pretty good defensive position, goes there, gets the charge, and wipes out what was 2 points as the ball made its way in the basket.
For Toronto, Antonio Davis re-enters the lineup, and Greg Foster goes to look for an oxygen tank.
Right?
All these minutes.
Indeed. And working on that offensive end, too.
Absolutely.
Double duty.
Just kidding, Gregory. Here is Lamb. Up, and it counts. And Bradley the foul.
Yes. Darvin Ham may be the strongest Atlanta Hawk. This is a guy that comes out in practice and just energizes people with his intensity. Goes inside, takes the contact, stays with it, and scores it.
And Darvin hits the free throw for his 3rd point of the proceedings, 38-28. Hawks take the lead back to 10. Alvin Williams, fouled by Jason Terry. Jerome Williams back for Toronto. And Mo Pete goes out. Goes to the bench for Atlanta. And Emmanuel Davis checks in. JT with 8 first-quarter points and 6 assists, so an outstanding start to his night.
Indeed, and play good D, too, Bob. I mean, pushing the ball, just making his presence felt on that defensive end.
And that is the 8th turnover for the Raptors. So we should stress they are playing ultra short-handed tonight.
Yes.
Emmanuel Davis. Inside to Theo, another dunk. I mean, it is just a dunk fest inside.
Yes, it is. And you just get the feeling, Bob, that if the Hawks will keep the pressure up, Toronto will not be able to maintain this high level of play.
And a foul inside on Atlanta. Darvin Ham's first. 9:15, second quarter. A 12-point Atlanta lead. Deshaun Leonard faking, looking. Here's Williams inside, 2 on the clock, and Ratliff with a push on Antonio Davis. And that hurts. Not only is it the 3rd on Theo, that's the most painful part of that exchange, but the shot clock was down to 3 seconds.
Yeah, it certainly was, Bob. And just a nice flash by Davis. Theo couldn't get around in front of him. If he'd been able to work his way around in front of Davis with the shot clock winding down, no way they could have thrown a lob pass to him, but Theo got kind of caught behind and picked up that foul.
So, Alan Henderson goes right back in. Jamal McCaskill comes in. Henderson still on the floor. Junkyard Dog has it rejected. That was not a goaltend, but a foul on the Hawks. Henry with his first. Well, this is the problem Theo Ratliff had the first few weeks of the season, accumulating early fouls and big trouble. And that has come back tonight, but fortunately the Hawks have a 12-point lead. Timeout on the court with 8:54 to go in the second quarter. The dunk-a-thon at Phillips continues. Hawks by a dozen.
Hotel and Casino and the amazing new Golden Moon Hotel and Casino. Together, the excitement of nearly 1,100 luxury hotel rooms and 4,700 winning slots. Plus, the added adventure of Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, ranked among the nation's 35 best. Call now to experience this premier destination for as little as $59 per night. A giant leap for mankind, just a short drive for you. Pearl River Resort. Call today.
You're going to love it.
Come play with the NBA at the 2003 NBA All-Star Jam Session at the Georgia World Congress Center, February 6th through the 9th. Don't miss Jam Session, the NBA's All-Star theme park, where you can meet your favorite players, check out today's hottest musical acts, and experience NBA basketball fun.
This is Jason Terry. And I'm Dan Dickow, and we'll see you at Jam Session.
Buy your ticket through Ticketmaster or the Phillips Arena box office. For more info, call 866-NBA-JAM.
40-20 at Atlanta with 8:54 remaining in the second quarter. Hawks fans, bring the family down to Phillips Arena for a Chick-fil-A family night. The next one comes up on Friday, November 29th. Hawks in Miami at 7:30. Family night packages start as low as $59. For more information, tickets, call 404-827-DUNK or log on to Hawks.com. Jerome Williams with his third free throw of the game and his 7th point. One of 55 grandchildren.
Whoa.
Now that's impressive.
That's a lot of family. His Thanksgiving meals are
a 4-day event.
That's right.
To feed everybody.
Right. Rent a stadium out somewhere for the Thanksgiving dinner.
Hawks with so much inside, that field goal percentage inflated. Looking for more is Sharif gives it up to Emmanuel Davis. I mean, there's just not a lot of defensive resistance here by Toronto.
Going to his own defense, Bob, trying to preserve bodies and movement.
42-30. And another foul inside as McCaskill pushes Antonio Davis.
Well, the Raptors would like to get the ball to Antonio Davis. They're running people off him. He's trying to get his position inside. Got a foul on Theo on that, a couple of trips to go. This time he goes to the line.
Antonio's first point of this game. 18 points, 8 rebounds yesterday in the loss to Utah at the Air Canada Center. He, too, has had injury problems this year, missing 3 games with a strained rib cage. Seems like if you play for the Raptors, you have spent time on the injured list this season. Hawks are 19 of 25 from the floor. Ham hands it over to Glover. And quite short and a jump.
Look at the strength of Ham.
And the nice part about that, Stinger, is he did not give up on that play. Yes, sir. He was in an awkward angle with Antonio Davis, but once he sensed he could tie him up, he stayed right with the play.
Indeed, and that's a power forward right there that has 2 hands on the ball. So normally, power forwards rip that away, and you better move your hands, too.
So, on the next road trip, we cannot expect you and Darvin to be in an arm wrestling contest.
No, sir. That will not happen.
A lot of things might.
That
right.
won't. That will not.
Amal McCaskill looking for his first points and gets them.
Well, I tell you, Dominique Wilkins, who works with the guys on the post moves, has been telling me for many games, Bob, that Amal has some good post moves and that he's strong. So I'm sure Dominique glad to see that result.
Darvin to Sharif. How about another dunk? That is the 5th dunk for Sharif.
Yes.
And the 8th dunk overall for the Hawks, 46-31. That will improve your shooting percentage. Hawks at 75% again on 21 of 28. A travel on Bradley.
Well,
10 turnovers for Toronto.
And the problem for your Raptors right now, Bob, they really just don't have a focal point on their offense. They can't get the ball to Davis very conveniently. He hadn't really been able to deliver anyway. So they're just trying to find a way, create it as they go. And that's a very difficult way to play this game unless you have super talented guys that can just create at that level, and they don't have them in uniform tonight anyway.
Glover missing the 3. Hand keeps it alive. With arms reaching at him, the ball comes free, and Vashawn Leonard comes away for Toronto. Peterson. Michael Bradley up and off. Toronto has shot 50%, but the turnovers have really limited their effectiveness. Emmanuel Davis. Getting it to Sharif. Nice pass. Now the kick to Glover. Dion goes up with the left hand short. McCaskill there to put it up and in. And a whistle. And a timeout has been taken by Atlanta. 6:18 remaining in the quarter. Atlanta 48-31.
I learned about BC powder from growing up and watching my mom take it. She was always washing, cleaning, don't leave out cooking. I guess that's why I'm such a hard worker. It makes a difference. Pain doesn't slow you down. Watching my mom take BC, I knew they worked fast.
I had 7 children, and I had to take BC.
If BC is good enough for my mom, it's certainly good enough for me.
I'll be taking it until I go on home to glory.
My mom is my hero.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. You have the results. But first, Florence, would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
Queen's fine.
Hey, Tahoe. Brian Jordan. How's the show going? Going pretty well. Looks like you lost a couple pounds. Oh, really? I almost didn't recognize you. Seriously? Hey, you want to come on the show sometime? Sounds good. Catch up with you later. All right.
This guy's one of the best conditioned athletes in the league.
Yeah, not like Tom's fat ass.
Atlanta 48, Toronto 31. Second quarter, 6:18 here at Phillips. Immediately after the game, the Southern Sports Report, 30 minutes of nightly sports news, completely dedicated to home teams throughout the South, and we have got a lot to talk about tonight. And it starts on the baseball diamond with the big trade as the Braves have secured left-hander Mike Hampton. We'll be talking about that in depth right after Hawks basketball. We'll also have, of course, the latest on the Falcons and basketball with Maryland, but the big story in town is Mike Hampton. All Braves fans talking about that. We'll have more for you at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock, or right after Hawks basketball. Inside, Antonio Davis, good. Nice turnaround.
It certainly was, and pretty good D. McCaskill had a hand up on that shot, but Davis drilled it nonetheless.
Robinson, now Emmanuel Davis. Big Dog hasn't scratched in this one. Hawks would like to get him going. Glover takes it to the paint. Swatted out of there by Antonio Davis. Now Alvin Williams controlling for the Raptors. Good show by Amal.
Williams, of course, trying to get to the lane, doesn't have the confidence in that shot, and as a result, gets the charge. That's the thing about having guys set screens that are not really that offensively talented. You can double and leave them momentarily, and usually they can't convert quickly enough. If Williams can get in around the lane now, he can get to be a little trouble, but couldn't get there on that play.
48-33 Atlanta. Big Dog. Good. Just no, Glenn, I was thinking about that.
That's right.
You had that big goose egg on that scorecard.
There you go.
Toronto goes to Mo Pete. He misses a three. Out to claim it is Sharif. Big Dog with Peterson on him. Sharif drives it, looks. Glenn trying to play off of him. Shot clock under 10. And we've got a push on Peterson. 3 Raptors around Glenn Robinson that time.
Indeed, and a pretty good defensive effort. They had some good defensive players. There about only 8 seconds left on the clock, and they felt if they could kind of swarm Big Dog, they may get a turnover or a bad shot.
Robinson lost the handle. Here's Williams. drives it. Up and in with a left hand. Beauty.
Yes, indeed. Just beautiful, strong, athletic move. Gets the crowd at Phillips up off their feet.
Hawks stretch it out to a 19-point lead. Rashawn Leonard. Here's Jerome Williams. And that was just a slight travel.
Yeah. Take a look at something a little better looking. How about this move by Glover? Look at him change hands, too. I mean, spin move, change hands. Nice spin. Doesn't go with the right hand. Protects the basketball, lays it up off the glass after a high leap in the air.
And Glove enjoyed that one.
Indeed he did.
Sharif. And hands on Peterson. That's his third foul. So Lenny goes and...
Yep, got one.
It's, a technical foul on Mr. Peterson.
Oh, Peterson had some naughty words to say, and Hugh Hollins, who has been around this NBA much too long to accept that kind of conversation, texts him right away.
Big Dog will shoot the tee. And Mo Pete heads to the bench to have his mouth washed out with soap.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, anybody's been officiating longer than you've been alive in the NBA. You should have more respect for him in general, Bob. Just, this guy's been repping NBA ball for, 28 years or something? He's not going to hear that. Especially after you fouled the guy.
53-33. On the cut, Robinson. How about that move?
Indeed. Big Dog will find a way to score.
55-33. Alvin Williams, runner, no good. Tip to Sharif. A lot of boards for Abdul Rahim. 4, it says on the sheet, 17 points. Hawks shooting 69%. But when it's layups and dunks and 5-footers, you should expect to shoot 69%. Right through Glove's hands, but saves it. Knocked out by Williams. Hawks have 5 seconds on the shot clock. And Atlanta will take a timeout with 3:05 remaining in the first half. A 22-point lead for the home team. 50. You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home of the Hawks all season long.
Fishing then, fishing now. As the needs of the avid angler have changed, so has Pflueger, the legendary tackle manufacturer. Pflueger is setting a new standard in quality and performance with the Tryon series. Tryon spinning reels, Tryon bait casting reels, and Tryon graphite rods. Fishing has changed, but you can still rely on Pflueger, a fishing tradition for over 120 years. Isn't it time you experience the legendary feel of a Pflueger?
Score is correct. Hawks 55, Toronto 33 with 3:05 remaining in our second quarter. Courtesy calling the Best Damn Sports Show period, a 2-hour frat party with irreverent skits, insightful interviews, and sharp locker room banter. The Best Damn Sports Show period, weeknights at 8 and 11 only on Fox Sports Net. And Dion Glover knocks down a 3.
That's how the play was designed. Dion didn't throw a great pass, but just enough to get a return pass and shoot the jumper. So it worked out well for Hawks fans and for Dion Glover.
Well, I think the mark of whether the play was right or not, did the ball go in the hole?
Yes, sir. It nothing but bottom of the net.
So, yes, it was a good play.
Indeed, it was.
So Greg Foster commits a foul, and You know, it's 58-33, but I tell you, Stinger, I like being on this side of the score after what we've been through the last 3 years.
Oh, absolutely, Bob. Those kind of nights when you just have to take your medicine. I mean, no other way around it. You're short-handed. The other team is playing well, and there's not too much you can do about it.
60-33, Atlanta. Raptors have turned it over 7 times in the period. Leonard for 3 out of the corner. Now they say it's a 2, says Hugh Holland. Rashawn Leonard, his career off the junk heap. When Lamont Murray got hurt, Raptors signed him at the end of camp. Look at Dion wiggle inside. And Leonard's got a new lease on life in Toronto.
Indeed, Leonard's the quality player, Bob, a guy who's not going to hurt you. You know, he's going to play the hard, solid D, take good control shots. He's a good guy to have on your team to execute a game plan. Disciplined, hard-working guy. Good to see him get another opportunity and make the most of it.
Hawks make changes. Darvin Ham and Ira Newble come in. Sharif and Dion Glover go out of the game. Here's Greg Foster. He's had an interesting career. This guy's been in the NBA 13 seasons.
Wow. And Bob, one way to measure if you had a good NBA career, not the number of team pitchers that you have. So he's working on his 13th team pitcher. So say what you want, where he's been, what he's done. He's been here for 13 years. That's an outstanding NBA career.
He started his college basketball at UCLA, played with Reggie Miller there. He's from Oakland, played his high school basketball with Gary Payton. He had a pretty good start with some nice teammates.
Yes, he has, and played with some good teammates throughout his career. Had some good years there at Utah when they were making their runs against the Bulls. Never able to come away with the victory, but in the finals.
Emmanuel Davis. Oh, Henry there to clean it up. 6 points for Alan Henderson. 64-37 Atlanta with a buck and a half to go in the period. Williams. Davis leading the Hawks in transition. Swing it to Big Dog. He'll take a 3. Miss it. Rebound, Darvin Ham. Kicks it back out to Robinson. Boy, no substitute for that hard work of Darvin Ham inside.
And it's good to see, Bob. These are kind of opportunities when you can fine-tune your game, get you some stats going.
Hindu fouled underneath. And this one on Alvin Williams. That wasn't the prettiest exchange.
No, it wasn't.
Hindu's going to get a couple of free throws out of it. I want to ask you about this second unit for the Hawks, because that first team is establishing its identity. Offense with Sharif and JT and Big Dog, and then the defenders with Theo and Ira.
Right.
But for this club to be successful, they've got to get contributions from that second unit. Henderson's really played well.
Yes, he has. Henderson has been the anchor, if you will, of the second unit, Bob. He's given you consistent play at both ends, made good decisions. You can kind of build around him, his consistent play with that unit. Big challenge, and you can build around the hard play of Darvin Ham. But you're going to really need a guy like Emmanuel to really serve as the glue. Pull this unit together, give him some direction, make sure the ball goes to the right places, and you're in your set. So, valuable time anyway. Anytime you get a unit together to learn how to be more effective.
We have a foul, a loose ball foul on Alan Henderson. And that will bring Antonio Davis to the foul line. Coming up at halftime, we'll check out the Hawks calendar of events. Our home games this week. We'll break down the first half for you. And Laura will have perhaps the nicest job of the half, and that would be to talk with Gar Hurd. Always nice to talk to Coach when they're up 30 at half.
Indeed. We're glad to see you. Glad to talk to you.
That's right. They seek you out when you're up by 30.
Laura, come on, let's talk.
40 seconds to go in the period. Manuel saves it. Darvin says, well, you know, how about me? And Williams lost it out of bounds. And that kind of a night for the Raptors.
It certainly has. The Hawks have just gotten a lot of fortuitous bounces and exchanges. It's all gone the Hawks' way on a night when the Raptors are very short-handed.
Davis. Baseline. Now up to Big Dog. Final seconds of the second quarter. 66-37 Atlanta. Everybody in the house wants Dog to shoot it. Williams made his move. Dog goes to work and just left it short. Rebound to Williams with 2. Alvin Williams at the buzzer. Up and in. This will be reviewed. The basket counts for the moment, and we go to halftime. We'll let you know whether or not they count it. Joe Forte is over to check on it. Our halftime score, Atlanta 66 and Toronto 39. Atlanta is our halftime score here at Phillips Arena. And you can imagine by the score, the Hawks just dominating everywhere on the stat sheet. Points in the paint, bench points, turnovers, shooting percentage, boards, you name it. I mean, it's just a wipeout in this first half.
Yeah, it certainly has been, Bob, and that same kind of intensity is what the Hawks are looking for. They just dominated, and anything they wanted to happen did happen on both ends of the floor.
The Raptors, as you could see on that graphic, have only 11. And if that pace continues, that could be an all-time record.
For rebounds,
yeah. Or fewest rebounds by a Hawks opponent in history. Wow. And that's going back to Tri-City.
Goodness.
So we'll keep an eye on that one for you. And these are the kinds of things Lenny would prefer us not talk about.
And prefer even more not to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Sharif, huge. JT had 8 in the first quarter. But the Hawks just did anything they wanted to. But I thought that was a good point Gar Hurd made to Laura. And that was about, hey, take a mindset where this game starts fresh, nothing. Go out there and see what you can do.
Absolutely right. That's how you have to come out, Bob. You can't come out like, hey, we got a 30-point lead. See Lenny Wilkins over to the officials still getting explanation for that last play, that it was reviewed while they were in the locker room. And getting the explanation that it was, in fact, reviewed because they counted the 2 points before he left out. When he comes back, he said,
wait a minute.
2 left.
We need those 2.
All the 2s we can get. And Bob, I can't remember having seen a closer play in years than the review of that play. It did look like it was just touching the fingertips when the clock hit 0.
All this new technology is fabulous.
It is.
Especially when it goes in Atlanta's favor. Here's Antonio Davis lining up a jump shot. 5th point for Antonio, the 10th-year man. 66-39. Hawks on their first possession. Give it to Theo. He drives it, shoots it, misses it. Tipped up and in by Sharif.
Boy, that has been going. I was wondering why JT's giving the ball to Sharif so far away from the basket, but they end up with 2 points out of that anyway.
Antonio Davis. And travels. The Hawks scored 66 points in the first half. The record for half is 80. Ron Kruger's team had a 66-point half last year. It was the second half here against San Antonio on December the 5th. But you don't see these kind of numbers in today's NBA very often.
Not very often.
Not unless it's Sacramento. How about Golden State Saturday night?
Well,
put up 135 on Orlando.
Isn't that something?
I got to call Muss.
Yeah, Muss let them play.
Taking the shackles off
Yes,
out there in the Bay Area.
Eric Musselman, of course, former Atlanta Hawks assistant coach, now the head coach for the Golden State Warriors. Had a big win against the Orlando Magic, the game we were speaking of.
Theo with 10, 70-39 Atlanta. Peterson. Jelani McCoy throws it away.
And you can still see the Raptors just trying to create an offense as the game is being played out. That's what Lenny Wilkens is left with. I told you some of their coaches before the game, they see this as an opportunity for some people to improve, Bob, that don't necessarily get a chance to play if you've got some of those guys that they have injured back there. So a chance to develop that second unit for the guys off the bench to become better players and contributors.
Sharif. Tip to the wing and JT. Newble. Now the big dog against Jerome Williams. Into the paint. Missed it. You won't see him miss many point blankers like that.
No, but getting where he wants to go, getting pretty much a shot that he likes against a good defensive player, Jerome Williams.
Alvin Williams with 8. 70-41.
This is the kind of game, Bob, really for both teams. When you find yourself in this kind of game, you got to just kind of forget about the score and just play. You know, let's just try to play. Let's execute. Let's score. Let's have fun. Let's do our thing. But don't even think about the score. Don't even look at the scoreboard. Just play. Also, good idea for the fans.
Enjoy the action.
Enjoy the action. That's right.
Alvin Williams. Remember, it was about 4 years ago, Toronto and Boston engineered a trade that would have sent Alvin Williams to the Celtics for Danny Fortson.
Right.
And the trade was nullified because the Celtics, when Alvin took his physical, had some tendonitis problems in his knees, and the trade was nullified. So Alvin ended up staying in Toronto. His game improved by leaps and bounds.
Yes, it did.
And the Raptors ended up having a wonderful guard come their way.
They certainly did. Stayed and re-signed after his free agent year. A lot of teams were interested in acquiring his talents. Really liked playing for Coach Lenny Wilkens. One of the big reasons he decided to stay there in Toronto, and has just really developed into a guard that's on the All-Star ballot now, bidding to make his first All-Star team. Don't know if that will happen or not, but he certainly is a good quality player.
Newble runs down the rebound. Jason Terry shooting that defensive 3-second technical. Here's Theo against Jelani McCoy. Rebound to Williams.
Ratliff out on the floor like a small forward on that last play, but couldn't get it to go, and here the Hawks come again. No real numbers, but...
Oh, look at that pass. Newble goes down hard. And an offensive foul as Antonio Davis, no foul, just out of bounds, but a lot of contact with Antonio Davis and Ira Newble. And Lon Kruger wants to know why there wasn't a whistle in Ira's favor. Peterson up and in. Double figures for Mo. Jason Terry. Hard to shake Alvin.
Yes, it is. I mean, he's right there on you. You see JT with some quick, good moves, but not safe.
Alvin into the paint.
Nice play.
And Antonio Davis fouled on the drive.
Tell you what, that's an all-star type play that Alvin Williams made right then, Bob. I mean, cutting between the defense on the high screen, then drawing look at the play right here. Cutting between Theo and JT. Now look at him draw Sharif and make a nice pass to Antonio. I mean, that's a couple of very good plays back-to-back by Alvin Williams to send Antonio Davis to the free throw line.
Antonio's 6th point of the game. Will Davis has struggled at the line in the first half. It's his first two here, 73-47.
This is the key matchup of the night right here, and getting a lot of help, however, with Antonio Davis.
Ira Newble, his first two. So every Hawk that's played has scored. 75-47. Williams.
Man,
good
shot.
Alvin Williams was recruited to play at Villanova by our buddy Paul Hewitt, the head coach at Georgia Tech. Paul was an assistant at Villanova. These two have remained very close through the years.
They both have had a lot of success since those days.
Yes, they have. I'm anxious to see the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
Indeed, am I also.
That run and gun, press 94 feet. It's going to be fun on the flat.
Yeah.
77-49. Here is Peterson for three.
Boy, they shooting just kind of picked up here in this ball game too. Particularly the Raptors really put a few points on the board a little easier than the Hawks would like to see them do. Just in general, you know.
Toronto's up to 53% for the game.
Yeah.
They hit 6 or 7 in the second half. Big dog, no. Peterson. Now to Alvin Williams. He lines up another one. This one no good. Rebound Theo in traffic. Lost it. And the ball belongs to Toronto.
Newble all over Peterson. Encouraging him to step out of bounds. It's amazing what that defense will do. I mean, a little pressure defense here or there.
Elsewhere in the NBA tonight, an absolute shocking score in New York. Knicks 68, Detroit 42 in the third quarter.
Think that was a misprint?
We are going to the resources of Fox Sports Net that make sure that score is correct. Sharif's runner is good.
And that's a difficult shot Sharif just made look easy. Little Alec English type runner. Just floated right over the top and knocked it in.
79-52. Knicks have only won one game, and Detroit's off to a great start. Off the glass for the Junkyard Dog. He has double figures with 10. Here's JT.
Still couldn't shake Williams on that good move.
And Alvin takes away the post pass. JT trying to snatch it back. Newble good hands. Still the Raptors control. Antonio and Newble rebounds. Out to Jason Terry.
Little quick pop.
Peterson. And Theo's got that one wrapped up.
Right now, Bob, just kind of a playground style game. Let's just go down, shoot, and create a shot, try yours, one pass, shot.
Your kind of game.
Any kind of game, if you shoot any kind of game, you can get the ball and get your shot off. That's the kind you like. Indeed.
And a timeout taken by the visitors. 4:32 in the third. You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home of Atlanta Hawks basketball all season long.
Discover a new world of entertainment. Central Mississippi's Pearl River Resort, featuring Silver Star Hotel and Casino and the amazing new Golden Moon Hotel and Casino. Together, the excitement of nearly 1,100 luxury hotel rooms and 4,700 winning slots. Plus, the added adventure of Dancing Rabbit Golf Club, ranked among the nation's 35 best. Call now to experience this premier destination for as little as $59 per night. A giant leap for mankind, just a short drive for you. Pearl River Resort. Call today.
You're going to love it. What makes bodies in motion remain in motion? What makes what goes up stay up? And what makes what goes down get back up? Whatever it is, it ain't physics.
How do everyone? I'm Terry Chick from Your Southern Sports Report. The Atlanta Braves have signed left-handed pitcher Mike Hampton to a 6-year deal. It's cost them reliever Tim Spooneybarger and a minor leaguer, but will it also cost them in the efforts to re-sign Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux? All the details coming up on the SSR right after the Hawks game.
In the wreckage of what looked to be a big Toronto defeat here, Mike Glenn, we should not overlook the good play of Alvin Williams. He's He's a quality guy now in his 6th NBA season.
He is, Bob. One of those kind of guys that just doesn't get rattled right in the face of good D, down, up, fourth quarter, game on the line. Doesn't matter. He plays the same way and getting good results tonight for the Raptors.
Alvin has scored a dozen. We talked about the fact that Paul Hewitt recruited him for Villanova. There's another Georgia Tech man here tonight, and that's the Noodle, Craig Neal.
Indeed.
Raptors assistant coach and one of the great assist men in ACC history. Robinson rebounds the miss.
Newell's been working with Lenny Wilkins and his staff for a few years. A little north of the border there.
Here's Theo. Outside to Robinson. Nice ball movement. Newell carries the jump shot.
Well, still playing well, and what you want to do, anytime you come out on the floor, Bob, you want to play well. You want to be disciplined, get the shots you want, play within a certain style of play, rhythm of play. Hawks continuing to do that.
Antonio Davis. Peterson drives it. Theo couldn't get to it.
I tell you, that's a tough drive. I commented on that same kind of play by Peterson earlier. I mean, that's just a tough play. Come in right in front of the big guys and lob up the little runner over their outstretched arm.
Loose ball and into the hands of Big Dog. Up and out. Rebound tipped. Oh, good save. Good hustle by Theo. Now Ira's going to get a pop shot out of it. And he is fouled by McCoy.
Alvin Williams looks like he got hit in the eye or face or something, and he's really wincing there. Maybe he's going to be able to walk it off. Theo, yeah, man, caught him. And Williams is guard, not really a little guy. He's 6'5", but to Theo Ratliff and those size guys, he's a little guy. Those guys can hit you like that, Bob, and not even know they hit you, you know.
Oh. Didn't even see you stand.
Right?
Ira Newell with 5. No more sinus congestion for Alvin Williams. 83-56. AT right up on Alvin Williams.
Yeah, he's kept the pressure on him. You know, Hawks guards have obviously been part of their game plan. Pretty good little fake like that. Couldn't finish though.
McCoy. And that's blocked. McCoy is going to go again. Theo doesn't leave his feet. Blocked again. Sharif.
How about that for some front court to front court action? Hawks defending Theo Ratliff, chairman of the lane, taking charge. Sharif on the other end doing his thing.
They're going to go right back to McCoy. And this time he powers it in.
Little old school basketball. Okay, he's got you. You want it again? Go take him. We'll come back to you. So you like to see that little pride? Come back at him. McCoy gets 2 this time.
85-58.
About 1 for 5 on those exchanges there.
Jelani says, I'll take it once or twice. Just any kind of it.
Right.
Antonio Davis with his third foul. 2:08 third quarter. Timeout at Phillips. Atlanta dominating at both ends.
Truck star Billy Gibbons, world-class car collector. He knows different players perform differently, like different engines. That's why he uses fine-tuned Quaker State higher mileage engine. It can help improve performance in older engines by restoring power.
Sure could use help changing my oil.
For the life of a rock star. For performance you can count on Quaker State. Stay tuned. Buy 5 quarts and save big on these Quaker State motor oils at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Okay, so I only pitch once every 5 days. But I'm a busy person, doing important things. So I shop at Ingles. It's just the place for people with busy lifestyles, like me. No time to cook? Check out the great deli meals to go and frozen entrees. Awesome video department. One less stop on my way home. If it wasn't for Ingles, I wouldn't have any spare time at all. Ingles, you get a lot more, you pay a lot less.
Hey guys, it's
I forget, man. This is the NFL show. And the NFL's hardcore. So we must stay hardcore.
That's right.
You know, Tom, you've been out here longest. You got to make sure that, me and Michael don't get caught up in that Hollywood stuff, you know?
Count on me. If you guys fall off the wayside, just let me know.
Mike, I think I'm going to get the polish for the clear. No, just get a nice buff.
Hey, guys, how about a bikini wax next?
The NFL Show with Irvin, Syracuse, and Davidson, Saturday and Sunday on Fox Sports Net.
One fear in a game like this is it'll get sloppy and there'll be a lot of turnovers. That hasn't happened to the Hawks. They're trying to clamp down on that department, and that starts out front with Jason Terry. Laura Oakman has more on his story.
And you know what? He's only had 2 this half, or in the first half. Altogether, Bob, I may know the reason why. Jason said he stole a page from the book of some of his football player friends at the University of Arizona. He said if the guys fumbled too much, they carried the football around with them all the time. Jason's doing the same thing with the basketball. He says if you see him out of Phillips Arena, he will have the basketball in his hand. He said the most embarrassing or the weirdest place he's carried it, the bathroom. A little too much information, I know. But he also said even his 1.5-year-old daughter is getting it. He says every time she sees him, she says, Daddy ball, Daddy ball. So it may be weird, Bob, but whatever works.
I would agree with that. If that's what it takes, then that's what it takes.
Absolutely.
You didn't have any weird quirks like that, did you, son?
Not in the NBA, Bob. You had all those
You
going
cleaned
all
up your act by the time you got
That's right. But I tell you, I would get in front of the mirror, shoot without the basketball, walk around on the form, making sure everything's right in the mirror. So I guess, from a shooting guard's perspective, I guess that was kind of equivalent to what JT is doing there as a point guard.
Not that we wanted to get real personal.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I felt like I had the need to ask you that.
That's fine.
Big dog, the Double. 7 on the clock. Ira's hanger is good. Ira Noble has got some good looks, and he's cashed in.
He certainly has. And Ira now, Bob, can guard anybody. Keep that in mind, first of all. But when you have big guards, that's right down his alley. I mean, right, his cup of tea. I think he has a little more difficulty with the little David Wesleys or the little quick guards. But you start a big guard, he's going to have a long night and a better chance of being neutralized that night.
Toronto has turned it over 18 times. Good defense by Alan Henderson, forcing that miscue by Foster. 1:15. Now the Hawks turn it over.
It still is that for Alvin Williams. I mean, he's just in passing lanes. He's got that knack. It's like a Maurice Cheek type knack. You throw the ball, and his hand is up there waiting on you to throw the pass.
Antonio Davis. Blocked by Sharif. Blocked by Henderson. Rebounded by Robinson. 89-58. Nice pass. Davis to Henry.
Whirling, twirling with the reverse lay-in is Henderson.
91-58 Atlanta. Hawks had lost 6 straight to the Raptors over 2 seasons. That streak is going to come to a crashing end tonight, Phillips.
Yes, it is.
5 on the shot clock. 3-pointer, Alvin Williams. Alvin has hit 7 of 12 tonight.
Hawks had some interest in Alvin Williams, too, Bob. They would like to have seen him in a red and white uniform. You see why?
Shot clock just ahead of the game clock.
Double high screen for Emmanuel.
Sharif. Beautiful. Well, he got Antonio Davis on his hip and abused him.
Yes, he did.
Alvin. Foster. It's a 3-pointer. That will be reviewed, but that clearly beat the clock. So we've come to the end of 3 quarters. It continues. Atlanta domination led by Sharif Abdur-Rahim.
The new
Synergy steel reel, stainless steel housing, lightweight graphite frame, oversized button for easy casting, double padded handle adjustable for left or right hand use, dual pickup pins for dependable retrieve.
Dad, you accidentally picked up my reel again?
Sorry, I must have got it mixed up.
Synergy steel from Shakespeare,
Are they biting?
putting a new spin on spin casting.
This is Willie. Willie's a dog. He walks around the yard. He digs holes. Willie lives with the Johnson family. They used to play with him while waiting for downloads. Then they got Bell South Fast Access DSL. They switched to Fast Access DSL because it's up to 50 times faster than their old dial-up connection. Now they download giant email attachments like digital photos in a flash. And Fast Access DSL has been awarded honors by J.D. Power and Associates. Order now and get your first 3 months for just $19.95 a month. Willie used to be the center of attention. Now it's the internet. Everyone's always connected to it, all the time. Plus, with home networking, they all can be online at the same time. And Willie, well, Fast Access DSL frees up their phone line so they can talk while using the internet. Sign up now and get a free DSL modem. Plus, order online and get $50 cash back. But hey, things are looking up for Willie. See, boy, you're still their best friend. Get a better internet for just $19.95 a month for the first 3 months. Bell South. Listening, answering.
The Atlanta Hawks, led by the red hot Sharif Abdul-Rahim, have attacked the glass with a vengeance tonight. And the end result has been a blowout of the Toronto Raptors. Phillips Arena, where the Hawks have not lost yet this season. And they're not going to lose tonight. Bob Rathman, Mike Glenn, Laura Oakman with you. And there's the scoreboard at the end of 3. Atlanta 93 and Toronto 64. And Sharif Abdul-Rahim may have played his final minutes of this one to the bench with 27. That three-point shot reviewed, and they counted the basket by Greg Foster. I wonder how many career threes he has. Check on that one.
Shoot that ball a little bit. He might have 2 or 3 of them there, Bob. Not a lot, though, but a few, a couple.
95-64 Hawks. Williams bangs home another one.
Right, Williams was made look easy tonight. Found a lot of rhythm and confidence in that jump shot from pretty far out.
Earlier this year, Toronto won in Orlando. And that night, Alvin Williams punished the Magic with 32.
Looks like Lon Kruger experimenting with an offense that they probably have practiced a few times but have not run in the game yet. Everybody a little tentative on it. Good opportunity for him to see how it will work. Put the guys in the set. Let them run it. Good time to do it.
Our ace statistician, Hal DeLima, says that Greg Foster now has 20 career threes.
Okay.
That's about one a year. And a whistle. Toronto will use a 20-second timeout right here.
20-second timeout, Toronto.
20-second timeout. Stops the clock with 10:34 remaining in this fourth quarter. Coming up right after the ball game, the Southern Sports Report. 30 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to home teams throughout the South. And stay with us. We will have the latest on the big Braves trade that has brought left-hander Mike Hampton to the team. And we'll talk about the futures of Tom Glavine and Greg Maddux, all coming up on the Southern Sports Report, plus the latest with the Falcons and SEC football. So keep that right with us here. Fourth quarter, a mere formality tonight. Yeah. But it's still young in the season. Still this club is starting to grow and put combinations together. And nice that you have the luxury of a big lead.
It is, Bob, and you're getting a chance to play more people. Looks like Lon Kruger even using a couple of plays that he has not used very often, if at all. Seeing how things will work. You got live game. Let the Raptors supply the defense and see how it works.
Peterson hooks it over to Foster inside the ring. Followed by Leonard, and he's fouled. McCaskill with his second. So Vashawn Leonard will step up. Coming in is Chris Jeffries, the rookie from Fresno State, as Vashawn Leonard lines up the free throw. Just the third point tonight for Vashawn. 5 years with the Heat, 2 years in Denver. Released and signed when Lamont Murray was injured in training camp. 97-68.
This is the player that I was speaking about. Nice action on the weak side. Nice duck in right there. Shooter coming out, Glover. I like the look of that play, though. I think that's a play that has some good potential in it.
Garvin Hand to get it in. Garvin back to the basket. It's close, had it blocked. Got it back, and a foul, or is it? No, it's going to be out of bounds to Toronto. 97-68. And Henderson with a nice block and takeaway.
That's a good defense of Henderson with the quick hands on that one.
Davis off the high glass and good.
All right, Hawks still continuing to pour it on. Emmanuel with a very nice little shovel shot with his left hand.
6 points for Davis. 99-68. Peterson.
Good. Boy, nice looking shot from Peterson. Emmanuel Davis playing pretty good defense on him. James and foul.
Emmanuel Davis working with Henderson. Pass deflected. Taken away by Leonard. Poked away by Emmanuel Davis, and we have a timeout at Phillips. 8:50 remaining in the ball game. Hawks 99, Raptors 70. You're watching Fox Sports Net. Your home of the Hawks all season long.
Please welcome to the court the Atlanta Hawks.
I will tell you about my Get Out of Nebraska shirt. I was at a thrift store in Wayne, Nebraska, and I stumbled upon this incredibly gaudy orange-striped shirt that I thought was hideous at the time, and I wore it out to the bar, and all my friends said, hey, man, if you wear that shirt, you're going to have to leave Nebraska. You can't wear that shirt here. It sort of just, I don't know, it fueled me to get out of Nebraska and come to the big town here.
Bass, a taste for more.
Introducing all new America Online 8.0. We listened to you and designed AOL 8.0 with hundreds of exciting new features. Like the new email sort to quickly identify important mail, and the smarter search so you can find what you're looking for faster, and better parental controls to help safeguard your kids. There are hundreds of new features to easily connect you to the people and things you care about most. New America Online 8.0. Call 1-800-4ONLINE now.
All we are saying is give new movies a chance. Ready to see something new? Turn to Blockbuster pay-per-view movies.
You strong in this game.
A timeless classic.
In return for your help, I offer something priceless.
Alive as never before.
I shall become a count.
What do you want to buy?
Revenge.
The Count of Monte Cristo. Now playing on Blockbuster pay-per-view movies.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
99-70 Atlanta with 8:50 remaining in our game here at Phillips Arena. Dan Dickow coming out onto the court. He's played only 1 minute over the last 5 games, but a perfect opportunity to get him into the action.
Yeah, it is, Bob, and he has to get some time on the floor. As a rookie, you go through many phases throughout your rookie year. You lose confidence. You don't know what's going on. You're trying to learn to do one thing, everything. It's just a lot you go through in your rookie year, but nothing is better for you than playing time on the floor while a real game is going on.
And Chris Crawford is onto the court for Atlanta, making his season debut, coming back after knee surgery.
Well, both coaches getting opportunities to let some people play that don't necessarily get much of an opportunity for whatever reason.
Here's Chris with the fadeaway. Tipped. McCaskill fronting forward, but Leonard comes away with it for Toronto. And this pass deflected out by the Hawks. 99-70 Atlanta.
Well, it's got to be good for Chris Crawford, Bob. It's been over years since he's had a chance to get a little game time perspiration on himself.
Here's Jeffries. And he turned it over. Chris Crawford playing his first game in over a year. It was November the 10th of last season. But he blew out his knee in a Hawks game at San Antonio. Long rehab back. And then this summer, when it looked like Craw was going to be able to be ready for training camp, they found more damage in the knee, so more surgery. And Chris Crawford, you see him there, receiving the ball at the top of the key, battled his way back. I don't think there's a tougher guy in this ball club fighting through injuries and rehab. Look at Craw going to work.
Boy, had an avenue in there, but couldn't complete that one.
Leonard, the pull-up. McCaskill clears to Glover.
A guy like McCaskill also really wants to earn some more playing time.
I mean, look at Crawford just dive on the floor and knock it away.
That's right.
And it gets Henderson a bucket inside for Atlanta.
Well, Hender's not going to let anybody just come over and time his shot that easily and block it. It's Foster in the air. Then scores it.
101-70. Here's Jeffries. Hindu clears to Crawford. In the middle to Glover. Outside Dickow. Jump shot. In and out. Crowd roots for the kid.
Yeah, they're rooting for him, wanting to get that bucket to go.
He has 2 field goals to his credit this season. Bradley. And a reach in on Henderson. Free throws coming for Michael Bradley. Bradley, second-year man from Villanova. Worcester, Massachusetts native. Missing the first of 2.
Well, you hate those kind of go in and out on you like that, Bob. You to the line and shoot a pretty good shot, and you wonder, how did that thing come back out of there? No, I shot it correctly. They did. Good rotation on it. Don't get a lot of playing time. You want this shot to go in so badly.
Leonard whipped. Grabbed Glover on the way by.
Boy, I tell you, Glover was explosive on that. He went by Leonard, who's a good defensive player. Just flew by him. I mean, that first step was just right by him.
Here's Dickow. They go inside. Went off his leg and out of bounds.
One up.
101-71 Atlanta. Leonard jumps down to Bradley. Smothered by Crawford. Great block.
Indeed. No chance of getting that one up.
Glover fumbles, recovers. Blocked into the hands of Greg Foster. Peterson.
Play kind of getting a little raggedy.
You think? And a dunk from Michael Bradley. 101-73.
I guess when you got that 28-point lead, you're allowed to get a little raggedy a little bit at a couple of possessions anyway. Got Minnesota Timberwolves' Kevin Garnett coming in here with his crew on Wednesday.
Amal McCaskill, 3 on the clock. Dickow has to force it up. Hindu fighting.
Not your best possession you've seen right there. Ball just standing in one spot, dribbling, no movement. Time for Dick Auer to kind of get him in a little offense, maybe on the next time down the floor.
You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home of Atlanta Hawks basketball all season long.
At Advance Auto Parts, we believe in doing it yourself. So we made this commercial ourselves.
We had Florence here check out the prices of our competitors versus ours. You have the results.
But first, would you ever lie to millions of Americans who really want to believe that someone on TV is capable of telling the truth?
Never.
Go.
Advance is still the queen of low prices.
Queen, Florence?
As long as I'm here.
I'm fine.
What makes bodies in motion remain in motion? What makes what goes up stay up? And what makes what goes down get back up? Whatever it is, it ain't physics.
Hey, Tahoe. Brian Jordan. How's the show going? Going pretty well. Looks like you lost a couple pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, really? I almost didn't recognize you.
Seriously? Hey, you want to come on the show sometime?
Sounds good. Catch up with you later. All right.
This guy's one of the best conditioned athletes in the league.
Yeah, not like Tom's fat ass.
101-73 Atlanta. Dan Dickau getting some playing time here in this fourth quarter blowout. He's already getting a lot of ink around town, Laura.
We're watching him get adjusted to the NBA, but this city is having no trouble getting adjusted to Dan Dickau. He is listed in this month's Jezebel magazine as one of the 50 most beautiful people in Atlanta, and sitting beside me is one woman who didn't need a magazine to tell her how beautiful he is. His high school sweetheart and wife of 3 months, Heather Dickau. What makes him so beautiful that we don't see in this magazine?
Well, I see him a little bit different than everyone else, but I'd have to say his beautiful blue eyes and then everything set off by his lovely fluffy hair. That's great.
Now, the one thing he says you complain about, we're cheating right now. We're sitting a little bit lower than you normally do. He said you complain about your seats as a wife.
Well, I was actually spoiled the last 3 years because I got to sit on the court as a Blazer dancer. So being up here in the stands, it's a little bit different. It's kind of crazy up there. I'm not used to that.
All right, both of them getting adjusted to the NBA. And, Bob, I think if Jezebel does a Most Beautiful Couple magazine issue, we know Dan and Heather will be in it. I think you can tell why.
I must tell you, Laura, I'm very upset at Jezebel magazine. I'm 7 years doing this and not even close to getting picked. And, Dickau's been here 3 months. What's up with that, Stinger?
I don't know. I mean, you'd think they would have learned by now. 7 years is enough time.
And there's a 3D.
Yes, sir.
Daniel David Dickau nails a three-pointer.
Indeed.
104-75.
Hawks showing a little zone defense right here.
And trying to get in the middle of that zone. Ham intercepts. Pull it past to McCaskill. And a foul. Good heavens. Foster with a flagrant foul. Or is it? Let's see. I think just a shooting foul.
It was acting as one, but was it really called?
He about took his pants off. Look at this. Right by the shorts.
And McCaskill is very strong. Not the kind of guy you want to do any extracurricular things with. Matter of fact, Dominique was saying he reminds him of Kevin Willis. He said he doesn't have that kind of ferociousness that Kevin Willis has, but he is extremely strong.
McCoy goes out. Comes in, rather. Foster goes out. McCaskill splits the pair. 105-275.
Of course, Kevin Willis was the kind of guy, Bob, that would challenge a Lion if a Lion came out there on the floor.
And a loose ball foul on Vashawn Leonard. Dickau knocked that ball away, and Leonard didn't like it, and he wouldn't let Dickau go get the ball.
And the officials right there on top of the play. There's the hand on it. Yep, there's the hold. That's indeed. calling the play now. Hawks trying to get in a set here.
Key time for kick-out, even though it's garbage time. Just to get some confidence handling the basketball in game situation. And his time will come. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get this season, but the Hawks need ball handlers to help out Jason Terry. And if he can get a little confidence and come in just a minute or two here and there to spell JT, that's got to help.
Indeed. And Bob, for most rookies, you can't really evaluate them. Very few rookies you see in this NBA that come in their first year and you can just say this guy is or is not or can or can't. I mean, there's a long list of great ones that would go into that category. So the important thing for Dick Howe right now, play hard, learn the system, learn what you can do on the floor, and continue to do those things to the best of your ability. You're not going to feel confident. You're not going to feel comfortable, but you just got to go through it. It's just a learning process. And usually with a lot of rookies, it's the second year over the summer. Then they go, oh, okay, now I see. Now I get it. And I can come back and kind of retool and come back and do some damage.
Once I was blind, but now I see.
There you go. Absolutely. And, I talked to the people at Utah about for the Jazz, and they were saying that John Stockton, of course, who's from Gonzaga, the same school as Dick Howe, they said it was his third year before he started. He said Stockton had to learn. He didn't just come here in charge. Stockton, so he had a chance.
Offensive foul, McCoy. Chris Crawford takes the charge. I'm telling you, Stinger, when healthy and getting into the regular rotation, Chris Crawford's going to help this ball club and that second unit immensely.
He is, Bob. Still a little favoring the knee, but he was able to somehow get there in front as he's getting some fires from the entire coaching staff.
107-77 with 3:30 to go on Fox Sports Net.
Get up.
The Braun Synchro gives you Braun's closest shave ever. And its automatic self-cleaning system leaves your shaver so clean, it feels like new every day.
Hey, if your appetite is bigger than your budget, it's got to be Applebee's.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Back in Atlanta, the coaching legend, Lenny Wilkens. And, of course, it was here in Atlanta that Lenny Wilkens, in tribute to Red Auerbach, lit up the cigars and became the all-time winningest coach in NBA history. Presented the game ball by Pete Babcock. That was a great night at the Omni. Lenny all-time in wins number one, 1272, and one of just two men to go into the Hall of Fame as a player and a coach. And we met the other, John Wooden, just last week out in California. Hawks with their highest point total of the year.
Here's McCoy, who had a lot of difficulty with Theo Ratliff. Nice-looking little jump hook, able to work his way in close enough to score that one. I want to say a happy birthday, too, to Jerry Hanna, longtime Hawks season ticket holder. Denny Lane here every game for well over 20 years. Happy birthday to him tonight. Like he's
29.
29 years. Outstanding.
29 years old.
Again? Okay. I thought you said he's been here for 29 years as a season ticket holder, plus he's 29 years old. I mean, he started the year he was born.
That's a fan.
Right, sir. Jerry and Lane have made their way on in, trusting that the Hawks would be able to.
Yeah, I think they got this one locked up.
Indeed.
Second free throw for Jelani McCoy is no good, and a rebound for Emmanuel Davis.
Well, in a few moments, we might get a chance to look at assistant coach for the Raptors, Dick Helm, too, who's been Lenny's longtime assistant for years, and the last couple of years was not. Dick Helm back on the bench. You know, Stan Albeck, of course, was Lenny's most recent assistant, and he's had some illnesses and injuries, et cetera, and not on the bench now, but welcome back, Dick Helm.
Rashawn Leonard pumps home a three. And it is going to be a turnover for the Hawks. And again, the learning curve for Dan Dickau.
It is, and not a good pass by McCaskill, though, Bob. Anytime you're a guard and you don't really see what's behind you, the guy who's taking the ball out has to see. Somebody's coming up behind you. Don't throw that pass if somebody's right behind you, ready to step in and make a steal. Guards have to have court awareness, but sometimes you really can't see who's behind you coming up on you. So not all Dickau's fault on that play, but has to share some of the blame, though.
107-82. Glover. Tip into the hands of McCaskill. Harmon's got it. Dickau looking. Hawks get it set. McCaskill screens. Here's Love. Boy, tough take in there.
It is. But see, when your offenses come unglued, you got a guy like Glover, you know, he can just go in there and create you something. Say, look, we're out of our set. We're kind of going to have to scout the Glover. Go and get us something, will you? And he goes to the free throw line, and order is restored.
Dion to the line. This Phillips Arena, the scene of the 2003 NBA All-Star Game, and Laura Oakman has a special guest.
Yes, Bob. Peter Fink, Vice President of Events and Attractions, is joining me now. Tell me what you guys are doing here.
Well, we're trying to finalize all of our production needs and broadcasting needs for the game in February. So we've got about 40 people down looking at a variety of things, everything from lighting, sound, to host position, media seats. And we're doing that for the Jam Session, which is a convention center at the Phillips Arena.
All right, what else can fans expect besides the Jam Session and besides a great day?
Well, we're going to have a lot of community activities the week of All-Star. And we'll also have the Jam Session for the 4 days and the game on Saturday night. And the rookie game will be here on Saturday as well. So there's a lot of activities, a lot of fun, and we can't wait until February.
All right, cool. The countdown is on. Bob, back to you.
Thanks, Laura. It's going to be an exciting time in February. No doubt about that.
Indeed, man. Atlanta, the site of so many outstanding sports events over the last few years, continuing that tradition.
Nice feed from Dickau to McCaskill. 111-86. McCoy can't handle it. Now in a double team. Leonard fires. Hits a three.
Leonard trying to get his rhythm back, Bob. I mean,
he's at 12 in the fourth quarter.
Indeed. Steals and baskets, free throws.
111-89. Tip to Glover. Well, look at the strength of Glover to control that ball. Another three. Heather approves.
Indeed, and that feels good, man. I mean, you get a chance to come out, drop a few jumpers. It just feels good.
Leonard hitting his third three of this period.
Leonard wants a little more of that good feeling, too, doesn't he?
This is enough for everybody tonight.
That's right.
114-92. Game clock will expire as Dion Glover holds it against Leonard. Oh, it's a three. How about that? I didn't think he was going to shoot it. As the clock finally expires on a 117-92 Atlanta victory. Sharif 27 points and didn't play the fourth quarter. Yes, our Gatorade player of the game, an outstanding effort, set the tone in that first quarter, and the Hawks never looked back. And Advance Auto Parts player of the game was the good Hawk D.
And that good Hawk D leads to some of those outstanding easy points. This Sharif anticipating drive-by dunk on his way to 27 points.
So that is it from Phillips, where the final score is Atlanta 117, Toronto 92. More Hawks action Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern when the Hawks take on Kevin Garnett and the Minnesota Timberwolves. For Laura Oakman and Mike Glenn, Bob Rathman asking you to keep it right here as we send you right now to the Southern Sports Report.
Mr. Robinson. Yeah, Mr. Robinson. You need a shot. Look at all those on the right side.
Make him go left.
Yeah, made 9 and missed 6.
Jason Terry's out there to start the second half of the Hawks. So is Newble. So is Robinson. Ratliff going to the hoop and he gets stuck. Abdul Rahim, the other Hawk starter. Pierce the other way. Shots a chance to take an early lead. Pierce. Nope. Rebound, Abdul Rahim.
Now, Pierce was 6 for 15. Did not get off quickly in this ball game. And that shot there that he had relied on in the past is not going up there smoothly with rhythm.
Abdul Rahim. Back rims that one. Newble will continue with the defensive assignment on Pierce. Abdul Rahim on Antoine. Ratliff comes on the double team. Antoine goes the other way, is short with the hook shot. Jason Terry sneaks in for the rebound. Nobody scores in 3 trips to open the second half. We're still tied at 49. Robinson, look at it.
A little flick of the wrist. So strong. Look at the wrist.
21 for Robinson on the night. Pierce has got Abdul Rahim on him. Takes it in the paint, got fouled by Newble on the way by. Let's check in with Willie May and see what was going on in the South locker room at halftime.
Well, Mike, I had a chance to talk to Frank Vogel, the assistant coach with the Celtics. He said them and the coaches, they discussed transition defense and also stopping the second shot and keep doing what they're doing offensively. The shot should stop falling.
You can see the transition points. Opponents 10-0 tonight. Robinson kicks it. Newble. That's the second 3 he's hit tonight. He's got his average with 8. A lot of people in this game with their average early. 54-49. Hawks open up a 5-point lead. Pierce. Nice up fake. Lays it down at the tee.
Once again, Pierce makes the proper play. Great.
Season high 12 from the tee. Newble feeling it. Got fouled. And fouls on Pierce. That's his 3rd.
Take a look at Pierce. Wade's in there. Little up fake. Looks the man. And there's Ratliff right at him. And nice lay down to turn it to team. We cannot let Newble be a hero in this game. No. Ira, I will not allow Ira to be a hero in this game.
There you go. You got it. The 2 with the miss. 4-point game, 55-51. Pierce, clean look at him. 3 passes it up off the dribble. Leans, finds Petit. No. Jason Terry picks up another rebound. He's picked up a bunch of them tonight. Shortest guy on the court. Delk get it off the turnover. Self's unable to get any shots for Tony Delk here tonight. Gives it up to Eric Williams. Eric takes it to the basket, lost it. Robinson comes up with it. Robinson short. And it goes off the tee out of bounds. That's a bad break for Boston right there.
That shot that Robinson took is a lost art. Coming down on the break and a little pull-up from about 15 feet, 16 feet.
Terry lays it down to Ratliff. And Ratliff has got 10. Hawks showing a little balance here tonight. They lead it by 6. Antoine straightaway three. Nope. McKee, quick hops, but he couldn't come down. The Newell beat him to the ball. Numbers on the break. Abdul Rahim gets 2. Jim O'Brien says, enough. Takes a timeout. 8:13 left to go here in the third. 59-51 Hawks.
Like things fast? Rapid Rewards from Southwest Airlines, the fastest way to a free ticket. Stay at any Courtyard by Marriott through February 15th and get double Rapid Rewards credit. Call 1-800-MARRIOTT.
You're now free to move about the country.
This Dodge Intrepid is designed to move fast. This Dodge Intrepid is designed to move even faster. That's because it comes loaded with all these cool features. Plus Dodge's 770 powertrain limited warranty. Ford, Chevy, and Toyota don't match it. And now you can get it all for just $19,705 or get 0% financing. Clearly, it's an offer designed to make you move fast. See your Dodge dealer. Buy an Intrepid and get a $500 auto show bonus and a $300 ExxonMobil gas card.
Greatest comeback in NBA playoff history is completed.
The Hawks have opened up an 8-point lead, 8:13 to go here in the third. You know, this fall you can get your NFL fix a day earlier with the most outrageous, unpredictable NFL pregame show you'll ever see. The NFL Show on Fox Sports Net with Michael Irvin, Tony Saragusa, and comedian Tommy Davidson. Pregame shows, well, they'll just never be the same. So start your NFL weekend the night before kickoff with the NFL Show presented by the U.S. Postal Service. Saturday night, right after the Celtics, and Sunday morning at 10, only on Fox Sports Net. It remains Bertie, Williams, Pierce, Delk, and Walker for Boston. Delk trying to get something going off the dribble. Can't. Goes back outside to Pierce. Gets a screen with 6 on the shot clock. Gets at Robinson in the switch. Nice shot.
Well, that was under the gun, and he had to work the defender. Robinson was hanging on his shooting hand, too.
18-point night for Pierce. Keeps the Celtics within 6. Abdul Rahim. Blocked by Bertie. Antoine the other way. Delk into traffic and got whacked.
Abdur Rahim, a little ticked at the other end, didn't get a foul. Let's take a look at what Williams and Delk did the other night. 15 for 21. Tonight, 1 for 10. And their offense could really be used tonight.
Williams off the dribble. Antoine can't get the 3 to go down.
That'll Celts were 4 for 16 on threes in the first half.
Abdur-Rahim kicks it to Robinson. Robinson off the dribble, leaves it to Newble. Newble hard to the bucket, gets stuffed. Delk comes out of there with the ball.
Well, they've been consistent on that play. Colts took a couple from Pierce.
Pierce again has it knocked away. Nice defensive play there by Abdur-Rahim. Terry over the shoulder to Ratliff, and Antoine's going to make a shoot the free throw.
Nice play by Antoine to hustle back. That's a Tommy point for Antoine, just hustling back on that. I mean, he really dug it out. Self trying to find points someplace. Watch. Here comes Antoine and goes back in there and just make sure that they're not going to get the easy one. Self trying to find a hot hand, and right now the fast break points for Atlanta is 12. The Boston's 1, so they are getting it and going.
Shammond Williams and Vin Baker will come in to see if they can pick up the offense with the Celtics trailing by 6.
They're sticking with both those players, and they're not using the picks. This defense is right with each one of those players. They're not concentrating on Pierce. And this kid, Ira, is doing a nice job. Sounds like you want to save money, right? Ira. They've got an Ira down there.
Shammond going to the basket, comes up on the other side, but it wouldn't stay.
Nice play. Gotta make those.
Terry, pull-up three's not going to go. Hustles in for the rebound, knocks it out of bounds. So the Celtics get it back off the quick shot by Jason Terry, who started off very hot in this game. Had 9 points in the first quarter. He hasn't scored since.
Keep him under wraps.
Celtics just 2 of 9 here to open up the third. Pierce. Took by Aaron Williams, won't go. Whistle and a foul is going to be on Vin Baker.
Paul Pierce worked Newble really nicely to get that shot off, but there's no rhythm to Paul Pierce's shots. You know what I think?
What?
I think playing on the USA team is starting to take its effect. His legs are not giving him the lift that he had last year.
Oh, nice pass by Terry. Ratliff can't respond. Pierce tips it. And Shammond tracks it down. Antoine down the baseline. Ratliff there defensively. Antoine takes it right at the shot clock. That's a back with the hook shot.
I love when he does that move. Take it to the middle and come back to the right with the right hand for the hook. Yeah!
Celtics not playing all that well, but they continue to hang around in this down to 5. Abdur-Rahim in the paint for a long time. Jason Terry misses the 3. Rebound.
Go, guys, go! Take off! Come on, Baker, move!
Shammond lost the dribble, got it back, gives it to Antoine, fakes the 3. And the official says Antoine was out of bounds. Hawks get it back, up by 5. 5:07 to go in the third. Boston just 4 of 19 with the 3 tonight.
Robinson. Wow. Came off a double pick. Those ball delivered at the lettuce, and Williams went right by the shooting hand. Let him get it.
Shammond lost it out of bounds. Jason Terry causing that turnover. Henderson into the lineup, and Abdur-Rahim is coming out for the Hawks. He's the first sub for Lon Kruger here in the third quarter. Newble will take it. Baker with the rebound, and the foul is going against Ratliff, or is it against Henderson? Henderson, the second. Tony Delk is going to come back in.
Sub's got to get running here, and got to get something going instead of the threes. The threes are not working tonight. Plan B. What's Plan B?
Well, Plan B might be here with Shimon and Delk playing together. Baker rolling to the basket. Gets the bounce.
Go to the basket.
6 points in the game for Baker. Ratliff to the bucket. And Ratliff's going to get to the free throw line. And on Pierce, that's going to be number 4.
There's Vinny Baker with the good hustle. There's Pierce going, and there's Vinny Baker. I don't think he tipped it. I think it fell in on the shot.
He was right there, though.
Yeah, he was right there.
All right, Walter McCarty is up off the Boston bench. It looks like Pierce is going to have to sit down with 3:58 to go here in the third with 4 fouls.
It's a tough decision for Jim O'Brien as the offense is not really perking, and take out Pierce. Well, gamble a couple of minutes here. They're still in striking distance.
Let's see what happens. Pierce goes out with the Celtics.
5 down.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens with the free throw here, because you got to give the free throw right.
Okay. All right.
I know you think
whatever you say.
I'm quibbling here, but
whatever you say.
Call it 6 when he went to the bench.
All right.
Just under 4 minutes to go in the third. Coming through is Delk. Newble now defensively on Delk. Antoine trying to work on Henderson. Bounces off him a couple of times. Can't bank it home. Rebound ripped off by Ratliff. Jason Terry. And they say it's off Boston out of bounds. Jason Terry tries to make tough passes. Into the game comes Dion Glover, and out goes Newble. Also Darvin Ham coming into the game. Ratliff will sit down. 3:33 to go. So the Hawks get appreciably smaller on that exchange. Robinson with a double clutch and finds Glover coming back in after he made the pass.
Yeah, Walter did a great job that time, staying with Glenn Robinson, and Robinson was really going to take the shot. Watch what Walter does. Comes right over there, destroys the rhythm. And that was the only option left for Robinson to get the ball to Glover, which he did.
Get it nicely. He did.
Yep. All right, guys.
Play for Glover.
Okay, guys. Let's go, guys.
66-57. The lead is 9. Celtics get down by 10 in the second quarter. They came back to tie the game at the half.
Terry.
Shimon front rim to 3. Loose ball comes to Robinson.
Yeah, they got to go to the hoop here. Move themselves and come off picks and fast break, drive to the basket.
Robinson. Terry. Not going down tonight. Robinson. He fakes and he throws it. Terry hits Allen. First field goal since the first quarter for Terry. And it is now a 12-point Atlanta lead. And Jim O'Brien says, how about a 20-second timeout? 2:43 on the clock. Well, now we got to take a full timeout, so we'll take it too. 69-57 Hawks.
Chief? Nothing.
Hello. They asked you have a Stop and Shop card?
Oh, yes.
Did you know that because you have that card, you can get a Citizen Circle checking account free for a whole year?
Well, no.
You get free checks, free ATMs. You can even pay your bills online for free.
You mean I get all this because I have this card?
Yes, ma'am.
I'd like that double bag, please.
Here's a
Introducing the new 2003 all-wheel drive Subaru Legacy Wagon Special Edition. $2,400 in special options. 16-inch alloy wheels, all-season radial tires, power dual moonroof, halogen fog lights, custom leather trim, and much more. Standard vehicle price $20,195. Special edition package $2,400. Special edition discount $1,500. You pay only $21,095. Plus 0% APR financing on all Subaru Legacy.
New England Sports Tonight. You know the stories. You know the headlines. Now, hear what the experts have to say.
I think the Bruins are hitting on all cylinders.
New England Sports Tonight. Weeknights at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net. The best damn sports show, period. Hollywood's biggest stars. I like this show. Sports' greatest athletes. And the sexiest days. Wow. Comedy, commentary, how dare you! And highlights. After the postgame.
We're back in a 12-point game. The Hawks are on top. About 14, just short of 15 minutes left to go here tonight. If you're looking for the perfect holiday gift, pick up a Celtic holiday pack. Get 10 great games, including Michael Jordan and the Wizards, Allen Iverson and the Sixers, and Jason Kidd and the Nets. Now, packages start at just $180. Plus, you'll get an autographed holiday card from Antoine Walker or Paul Pierce. To order, call Celtics sales office, 617-523-3030, or visit Celtics.com.
Here's Big Dog, and they jam him as he was trying to really work the smaller man on a mismatch, and that was the third try, and that possession as they rebounded 2 misses, and Terry comes up with the 3 and stretches it out to a 12-point lead, but Big Dog is got a season high tonight. What, 34 points?
No. What? 23.
23? Oh. His season high is 34.
It is indeed.
I thought he had 34.
It just feels like 34. Antoine off the dribble. Into the lane. Baker up a little early on the rebound. Here comes Robinson.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, come on now. You cannot let that man get out there. There was no pick, and he's out there all by himself. You gotta make sure you account for Glenn Robinson. Please, guys, please.
Under 2 minutes now to go here in the third. Austin needs a little flurry.
Boy, nobody's stopping behind the pick.
Antoine. Right at the pass by Allen Henderson out of bounds. Celtics have 5 seconds to get a shot off.
Well, the offense has come to a screeching halt.
It has indeed. Celtics have scored 8 points in this quarter.
Screeching halt.
Yep. Has to come up shooting as the clock is grinding down. Nice play by Baker to get in there for an offensive rebound and got fouled. Good hustle for Vin Baker there.
Yeah, that's a Tommy point, I want to tell you, because he got the ball inbound and then headed to the hoop, took the man on his back, got the ball, and trying to put it back up when he got fouled.
Shimon, Celtics have a plus 24, so they're in no hurry. And fouls on Darvin Ham. 5 on him. He hasn't been out there very much. Got 5 fouls. So Antoine will shoot 2 at the line. A chance to get the Celtics back to within 10 here with a $1:38 to play in the third.
How many threes have the Celtics taken now?
Celtics are 6 of 7, no, 4 for 21.
4 for 21. Well, that'll do it, dear.
19%. I know you're doing that math in your head, but when I say that.
I'll never do the math on that.
Hey, you can see it. And the walk is called.
Vin Baker tries to draw the charge.
Ham will get a couple. Darvin Ham will play for many years for the Milwaukee Bucks. Misses the free throw. Eric Williams is going to come back in. And Antoine will get that extended rest around the quarters, but Jim O'Brien now is going to get down the final 2 or 3 possessions of this quarter without P.S.O. Walker on the floor.
There has not been a single hot hand tonight for the Celtics, and you got to play good offensive basketball here. You can't score 59 points in 3 quarters here and hope to win against a decent team.
Celtics trying to get this back to single digits. Ham with the quick hands to knock it away. Back outside to Walter. Open man, Eric Williams. Vinny Baker, an offensive rebound, and then tied up by Jason Terry, but a foul is called on Jason Terry jumping in. Here's another look.
There's Eric Williams taking a 3, and there's a good rebound by Vinny Baker, and Terry ties him up.
So Vin will get a couple. Let's check in with Willie May.
Well, thanks, Mike. Got a chance to talk to Ben Baker tonight. He started something new. Up in section 312, he started the Baker's Dozen, where he'll have youths from all over New England coming in, hanging out 13 times this season. But tonight is opening night for the Baker's Dozen.
Nice touch. Vinny 1 of 2 at the line. And it's a 9-point game. It's 69-60 as we approach the final minute of the third. Trying to get inside to Abdul Rahim, and Eric Williams is called for the foul. That's just the first on E. But the Celts are over the limit, so Abdul Rahim will step to the line.
You know, and right now with this group in there, they're searching for somebody to take control. Without Pierce and Walker being in the lineup, somebody has to assume the leadership role. And that normally should either be Tony Delk or Shamon Williams. And Williams doesn't have the experience to do it, and Tony Delk doesn't have the inclination to do it. But somebody's got to step up and create something here while those 2 guys are on the bench.
Baker gives it up to Delk. Lead is back at 11. Walter is going to take one. Baker, another offensive rebound, has this one blocked, and then Glover was unable to save it.
You know, one of the things that all over the years they get these players to slam it up there, the quickest way to get a basket is put it on the glass, and then the guy can't block it. Put it up on the glass, and if he touches it, it's a goaltend. You hold the ball down there, and the next thing you know, these guys are quick, and they can block shots.
A quick change made to the shot clock. Baker's got 7 rebounds off the bench tonight to go with 7 points. 6 of those rebounds coming on the offensive glass. Shamon having trouble holding the feet here tonight, and he asks for and gets a timeout. We'll take the timeout. 2:37.3 on the clock. Boston down by 11. We're in the third.
Jetters says that's a shit.
You want to get away? Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by December 12th.
You are now free to move about the country.
How much is the Hyundai Elantra with automatic transmission and air conditioning?
Under $13,000.
Shut up. What if I want power windows, locks, and mirrors?
Same price.
Shut up. And front and side airbags?
Same price. Please don't hit me.
The Hyundai Elantra GLS for just $12,799. When you get more than you'd expect, including America's Best Warranty, you win. Hyundai and the Jimmy Fund, helping kids fight cancer.
Back in an 11-point game, the Hawks are on top, 37.3. Let us update Hindsight brought to you by TF Green Airport.
Well, they didn't take away the biscuit from Big Dog. He's got 23 points and 9 rebounds, and we have yet the fourth quarter to play. Hit bigger, went faster. Doesn't look that way. Atlanta, 13 fast breaks. Points to Boston, 0.
Hindsight brought to you again by TF Green Airport down in Providence. The New England getaway. Shaman got whacked in the face, but he's okay. Takes it in hard, had it blocked. Glover, I think, got the piece of that. Here comes Abdul Rahim. They're very much in control of this game right now. Jason Terry lays it down, and there's 2. Dion Glover's got 5 points all here in the third. The Hawks have got their biggest lead. Banks home, and we got a foul?
Yeah.
Shaman, a chance for... No, it's just good. No foul. I thought there was a foul, but we'll take the 3. 7 points for Shaman as he knocks that one home and gets the Celtics to within 10 with 12 minutes of basketball left. Here's another look at it. Did he get it off? Clearly he got it off. You're watching Fox Sports Net, your home for Celtic basketball all season long.
Everybody's got a little Jeep adventure in them. Isn't it time you let yours out? Now during Jeep Adventure Days you can. Because during this factory-authorized opportunity, you can bring out the adventure in you with a $299 a month Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo lease for qualified returning Daimler Chrysler lessees. Plus get our 770 powertrain limited warranty. So hurry to your Jeep dealer and find the Jeep adventure in you. Check one out today.
I need a bookkeeper, an auditor, tax expert. I can't believe it. A killer audit, and I've got no staff.
Look, you need temporary. Call my friend at Account Temp.
This is the boss's baby. I'm really feeling the heat.
Here's her card. I've known her for 10 years. She saved my neck more than once.
I'll never get all this done in time.
Call her. She's got who you need.
You've got to pull this one out.
Call her, for crying out loud.
Because whoever does is going to make VP.
If someone hands you an Account Temps card, take it. Account Temps.
Sometimes one more is one too many. Know your limit.
We tell you all the features of the new Infiniti G35. But hey, who has time to watch a 14-minute commercial? The new G35 from Infiniti.
Welcome back to the Fleet Center here in Boston, Massachusetts on a Friday night where the Celtics have slipped behind after being even at the half, 49 apiece. The Celtics only coming up with 14 points in that third quarter, and the Hawks have themselves a 10-point lead. Mike Gorman along with Tom Heinsohn, glad you could join us. Shammond Williams hitting that 3 right at the buzzer to end the third. He now has 7 points, and he's out there with Antoine Walker, Vin Baker, Paul Pierce, and Walter McCarty. Newell in the game, covering Pierce. Now Abdul Rahim jumps out on him. Pierce off the dribble. Pierce still got it, 7 on the shot clock. Has to take it. Rebound Terry. Abdul Rahim.
Another fast break point, boy, and Austin just forced to walk it up.
Here are the numbers through 3, and Boston shooting 30% from the floor. Here's Pierce. He's going to take it. 20 points for Pierce on the night. Celtics continue to hang around in it. Pushes on Vin Baker. And that's his 4th foul.
Walt Pierce down on the box. Frees up that shooting hand, gets it to go.
Crawford is on the floor with Newble. Terry, Abdul Rahim, and Henderson. Terry knocks one down. 14 points for Jason Terry, who averages 18 a game. And the Hawks, at least to this point, are equal to the Taft kids now. Up to inside to Antoine.
It's not that the Hawks are playing terrific basketball. It's that the Celtics are just having horrendous offense. They cannot get a string going here. And a little run. A little confidence.
Terry off the dribble. Loses it. Picked off by Baker. Gets it in the hands of McCarty. Let's see if the Celtics can do something productive off the turnover. Shammond Williams into the paint. Kicks it out. Walter's going to take it. Nope. Rebound. Henderson.
Well, that's what you should have done. Push it up, find Shammond going, and then find the open man. And that was Waller, but you got to knock him down, too. That's what they haven't been able to do tonight.
Nope. Not at all. Crawford, a little trouble losing the dribble, goes out to half court before Abdul Rahim and Terry can reset the offense. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Abdul Rahim realizes, oh, that's a big basket.
Wow. Wow! That hurt! 79 rather, 67, 14 points for Abdul Rahim. Steal by Jason Terry. And Vin Baker picks up his 5th personal foul. Tony, right there, Vin Baker just made a lackadaisical pass, and Terry's been challenging everything. Terry's been out on that point guard. That's what's been disrupting everything. And they are playing. Celtics are not reading what they're doing on the picks. They're dropping below the picks, and the Celtics are coming way beyond the pick to find the shot, and it's not there. If they just stop behind the pick, a lot of good things would happen.
Tony Battie is back in. Baker sits down with the 5 for a personal foul.
Right now, they got to be going inside. Inside and go to the hoop. There's no shot blocker in there right now.
Antoine will set the offense. Pierce. There you go.
That's what I meant. Now, Pierce used the pick, sat behind the pick, and Newble never got to the shooting hand.
Celtics in need of some stops, though, here on the defensive end. Abdul Rahim will take it. Make it.
Boy, Pierce and Abdul Rahim are line driving those shots. And I should talk.
You should talk. You are the originator of that.
Give me a line drive.
Pierce looking for another one. Got it.
That one had some mark on it. Here he comes, Paul Pierce.
26 for Pierce. 10-point game, 83-73. But you got to stop him here. Here's a stop. And there's a foul by Newble. That'll be 5 on Newble. The Celtics will have the ball, trying to make a run here, down by 10.
I don't stop.
The 255-horsepower Nissan Maxima has doors inspired by an aircraft.
They're triple sealed to shut tight and glide through the wind. Visit your Nissan dealers while there's 3.9% financing and $1,000 cash back on every new 2003 Nissan Maxima. Have a nice flight. The best damn sports show, period. Hollywood's biggest stars. Sports' greatest athletes. And the sexiest babes. Wow. Comedy, commentary, how dare you! Highlights. After the postgame. New England Sports Tonight. You know the stories. You know the headlines. Now, hear what the experts have to say.
I think the Bruins are hitting on all cylinders.
New England Sports Tonight. Weeknights at 6:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Paul Pierce is now 10 for 23 for 26 points and 8 rebounds, but the Celtics are down by 10, 83-73. 8:22 to go in the fourth. Let's check out who's on the floor right now for Boston. It will be Shammond Williams, Paul Pierce in the backcourt for T. Walker and Walter McCarty up front. And on the floor for the Hawks, Terry, who's come alive, Newble, who's done a good defensive job but now has 5 fouls, Ratliff, Crawford, and Abdul Rahim, who has also come alive after not scoring in the first quarter.
Well, the big dog will be coming back pretty soon, too.
Yeah, he's coming back in right now, as a matter of fact. They just put him in, along with Alan Henderson.
Stick with the big dog, please.
And Emmanuel Davis all check into the game. So 3 substitutes after we try to set the floor for it. Crowd trying to get behind the scenes. Let's see what happens. Pierce gives it up. Inside to Walker. Back in Henderson down. The hook blocked by Ratliff. Ratliff came in #1 in the NBA and blocked shots.
That was perfectly done by Ratliff.
Robinson. Good job by McCarty. Newble.
They on his shooting hand.
He did. Good defense there by Walton. The up-court Shammond. Gives it to Antoine. Thought about the 3. Back to Shammond. Kick it to Pierce. Skip past Walker. Rebound for 2. Back out to Antoine. Now reset. Subs need some points this trip. Pierce.
Nice play by Antoine. Drew the attention of the entire defense and went back outside. They left Pierce all alone. Heads-up pass by Antoine.
The crowd's up chanting for D. Davis gives it up to Robinson. Walter playing his numbers. Robinson had to give it up. And Shammond Williams called for a foul on Emmanuel Davis.
I'll tell you, Walter is playing Glenn Robinson right now like you ought to be able to play him. He's not going to go all the way. And at 6'11", Walter is right there on his shooting hand and doing a heck of a job on Mad Dog. Not Mad Dog, Bad Dog, Big Dog. Whatever kind of dog. Hot dog. That time of the night. What
It is.
yeah.
It is. I understand. First points of the night for Emmanuel Davis. Missed 5 games, 54 games last year due to injury. Makes both free throws and pushes it back up to a 9-point game. Under 7 minutes to go. Antoine gets it across. Trying to work to Pierce. Kicks it outside. Shammond off the fake. Shammond keeps on trucking. Has it blocked. Picked off. See? Shammond in a scrum, but Ratliff comes up with it. Loops it ahead to Abdul Rahim. Abdul Rahim blocked by Petit. Antoine the other way. Fouled from behind by Davis.
It's good block by Tony Petit. he goes, and there is right back at you, and then quickly up the floor. Antoine attacks Walter out in the wing, and was open for the layup.
Tony Delk is in, Shamond is out. It was nice to see Tony Delk get hot here. Over the top, it's going to be Hawks ball. Tony Delk is 0 for 5 tonight. In 23 minutes, has not scored a point. Abdur-Rahim faces up. He throws down the hook shot. 18 points for Abdur-Rahim, and he's got his Hawks back up double digits again, better than halfway through the fourth. Antoine. Ratliff coming to help out. Antoine finds a way.
Well, that was all bullying.
Yep. 19 for Walker on the night, 29 for Pierce, 12 for Bazzi. Robinson. Been quiet for a while, but here he comes. He's got 25. Pierce off the dribble. Kicks it out to Walker. Antoine's going to take it. Makes the three.
Boy, you love Antoine. What a competitor.
89-81. But again, Boston can't just keep trading baskets here. Abdur-Rahim, tough shot. Rebound taken down by Walker. Good defense by Boston that trip. Need to convert now on the other end. Walker off the dribble, finds Pierce. Newble's there defensively. Pierce into traffic. And Pierce is going to get to the line. And we're going to get a timeout. Paul Pierce will have 2 when we get back, and a chance for the Celtics to get to 6.
Jetters says censorship.
Want to get away? Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by December 12th.
You are now free to... The NBA and WNBA continue to write new chapters to the Read to Achieve story.
Okay, let's read.
With each turn of the page, players and coaches are encouraging families to open a book with their children.
You like this book? All right.
And by donating computers and books to create reading and learning centers, the NBA is helping kids develop a lifelong love of reading.
Read to Achieve!
Be a part of the success and Read to Achieve.
She thought everything was going according to plan.
Great man. Great friend. Thank you.
Until a prediction.
Tomorrow is going to hail, and next Thursday you're going to die. I'm sorry.
Made her take another look.
Your cure for my emotional crisis is batting practice?
Now,
Try and live every moment.
it's time to stop planning.
I have a 9 o'clock appointment to get fired.
In her life, nothing like it.
Now playing on Blockbuster pay-per-view movies.
I think we can arrange that. That's within our purview, I believe. Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, the Celtics take on Jalen Rose, the Bulls on Wednesday, then Vince Carter and the Raptors on Friday. Tickets start at just $10. Call 1-800-NBA Tickets or visit Celtics.com. Celtics basketball, love it live. Here's our Advance Auto replay sequence featuring Paul Pierce all in the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, Paul Pierce has kind of done it. And there's a little step away from the low post. Comes off the pick, frees up the shooting hand, bangs, and gets the man. And there is Pierce on a nice pass from Antoine. So there's a redhead right now who's rooting for Paul Pierce.
And not get the roll on that free throw.
Needed that.
You can see 11 points in the fourth quarter for Paul and 4 of 6 shooting. 11 of 25 overall. Makes the second. He's got a 30-point night, but the Celtics are 7 shy at the moment, 89-82. Newble loses the handle, picked off the floor by Walter McCarty. Gives it up to Pierce. Celtics can make this interesting now. Double team on Pierce, back to Walker. Delk is open on the other side. Antoine off the dribble, kicks it. Tony takes it. Got it! Big shot, Tony Delk! 89-85. Pierce defensively out there on Newble. Jason Terry. Newble on a cut. Picked off underneath. And it was a shot clock violation anyway. It'll be Boston ball trailing by 4.
Well, the fans have got this team playing some defense. Nice defense right here. They cut off Terry. And Newble has no place to go. Tries to find somebody there, but there was Pierce picking it off the floor, and the shot clock had gone off. All right, offense now. Offense.
Trailing by 4. Delk finds Pierce. Pierce blocked by Newble, out of bounds. It's going to remain Boston ball, 13 on the shot clock. This kid Newble's tough.
Well, I'll tell you, Paul Pierce is just waiting until he gets back into position. They're stepping up. See, Ratliff, he's afraid of Ratliff, and he's not taking the shot. And he allows Newble to get back in to defend him. The pick, got to take the shot behind the pick.
Pierce pulls up. No rebound. Ripped off by Robinson.
And that was good defense by Newble that time, right on the shooting hand. Newble is got a sense of playing the guy's shooting hand, unlike a zillion college players. Don't know how to do that.
Abdul Rahim gets the shoulder. Swallowed up. Finds Newble. Misses the shot. Rebound Pierce. Again, Boston the ball down by 4. Approaching 3 minutes. To Delk. Tony in the paint. Tony kicks it. Battie. Got it.
Good play. That's the way. Attack. Attack.
14 now for Battie. And the Hawks want a timeout. On their feet at the free. It's a 2-point game.
Excuse me, that ATM just ate my card, and I have to be on a plane in an hour.
Let me see what I can do.
Liz?
Yes.
Just must have gotten a little jam.
Okay.
Your car should be coming right out.
Oh, thank you so much.
My pleasure. Have a nice trip.
I'd like to make a transfer, please. Hello?
However you look at it, Zero just got better. Now get 0% APR with 0 down payment. 0 payments for 90 days. Or choose $2,000 cash back on every new 2003 Chevy truck and SUV. So roll out, come in, stop by. Call it what you want. Just get to your local Chevy dealer today.
Greatest comeback in NBA playoff history is completed.
Tonight's Boston Celtics game was brought to you in part by Southwest Airlines, by Citizens Bank, by Foxwoods Resort Casino, by Advance Auto, by Bob's Stores, by your New England Dodge dealers, and by New Balance. Well, Red is here in spirit, and the Celtics could use it down the stretch, 2:48 left to go here in the fourth, 89-87. Check out our Jeep game summary here. The Celtics not shooting the ball well, only 34%. Glenn Robinson a strong night with 25, and Atlanta dominating the fast break points, 17 zip. However, the scoreboard says 89-87. Hawks up by just 2. It is Terry, Abdul-Rahim, Ratliff, Robinson, and Newble starting 5 for the Hawks down the stretch. Delk defensively on Terry. dealt the quick hand, knocked away. Terry at half court, deflected. Offensive foul. Abdul Rahim.
That's as aggressive as you can get on defense. They try to work the clock down and come up with something, and here is perfect defense by Paul Pierce. But Sonny Delk with those long arms.
They are long.
Good hands. Caused the problem for Terry.
All right, Boston a chance to tie or take a lead with a three. 2:25 to go. Pierce gets a screen. Pierce lost it on the way to the basket. And then it was nearly stolen back by McCarty, but it goes out of bounds.
Well, that was the right idea by Paul Pierce. They had Ratliff out on Tony Petit. He faked into the pick, had a way going to the hoop, and just never got the ball past Newble, who's got good hands. He's a good defensive player. Get the left hand up, Walker. Left hand up, baby.
He did.
Yes, sir. Walker.
Pierce leaves it for Delk. Delk kicks it. Petit. Walker fakes the three. Takes the two. No. Rebound Robinson. Under 2 minutes to go. Hawks the ball in a 2-point lead. Celtics have had 2 opportunities to tie or take the lead and come up dry. Terry. Rebound taken away by Newble. Hawks get a second chance. Abdul Rahim is not really setting a screen. Terry got to do something off the dribble. Does. Rebound Terry.
Come on, guys.
Third chance.
Got to be one and done here.
And the Hawks want a timeout. Atlanta with their third opportunity this possession. 1:09 to go.
So, how was Florida?
Nice.
A lot of pretty girls on the beach?
Yep.
Probably wearing bikinis, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty girls in bikinis.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by December 12th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
Lease or finance by December 31st and your first payments on us.
We're back. 69 seconds to go in this game. 89-87. Hawks by 2. They've got the ball. You know, for Doug Flutie, being underestimated served as a motivation, but his son's battle with autism became his toughest challenge, and it gave him a purpose greater than football. Beyond the Glory takes you inside the hidden world of sports' biggest stars. Doug Flutie, Beyond the Glory, Sunday at 8 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Net.
Here's good defense by Walter McCarty. Watch that left hand, right hand shooter, left hand up, right on the ball. I want to tell you, that really was a terrific defensive possession there by Walter McCarty.
All right, Celtics need to stop here. 19 seconds on the shot clock. Newble gets it into Terry. Celtics don't want this to become a 2-possession game. Terry kicks it to Robinson. Misses a three, and this time Boston's got the rebound. Tony Delk leaves it for Walker. Antoine to Petit. Pierce comes around the screen. Newble is right there defensively to Antoine. Backing in Abdul Rahim. Plays it down to Petit, and he got fouled.
That's the one I'm talking about. You got to put it off the glass. You know, you never know who's coming. They come hard from the weak side. This is a heck of a play by Antoine. As soon as he spots Ratliff, gives it right to Tony Petit, and it's a hit on the catch virtually. You got to put it off the glass.
Tony's through with the first one. Best offensive night of the year for Batiste. He's got 15. It's a one-point game at 89-88 and 42 seconds on the clock. Tie game. Atlanta wants a timeout. It's come down to 42 seconds. 89 apiece.
This is a man who gave up his regular pants. He wears pants that look regular, but they're not. They're Hager Comfort Fit pants, and they have a hidden, flexible waist that's very, very comfortable. This is a man who needs flexible pants. Comfort Fit waist, only from Hager.
Here's to outdoing the neighbors.
89 apiece, 42 seconds to go. The Hawks got the ball. Self on the defensive end.
You got to have heart. And I want to tell you, this team
really
has
need
got
heart.
a lot of heart, this team. It has not been their night. Things have not gone their way offensively. All of them virtually having difficult shooting nights. But they have hung in there, and their competitiveness is brewing over.
Robinson, Abdur-Rahim, Ratliff, Newble, and Terry come out on the floor for Lon Kruger. Vin Baker enjoying this one from the sideline. Walter McCarty stays out there for defensive purposes on Robinson with Pierce, Walker, Delp, and Batiste. Jason Terry. You would think the Hawks would try to get 2 for 1 here. Terry pulls up. No. Rebound. Contested. Abdur-Rahim stripped once. Blocked by Batiste and picked off by Pierce. The Celtics can take the last shot.
Well, not a kid.
Well, pretty close.
Yeah. 2-second difference, but they got to get something good going to the basket.
They get it to Pierce. Turns on Newble. 4 on the clock. Pierce takes it. Rebound. Batiste at the buzzer. No, get out of here. He says he was in the cylinder.
Oh, that is awful. That is an awful call.
Now, I think they're going to have to review this. He's calling in the cylinder. And now they're going to put 2 seconds back on the clock.
This is
How can you
awful.
put 2 on the clock?
This is absolutely awful.
Now, pretty good case for the cylinder. Jim O'Brien is debating this new rule now, whether they have to review this. 0.2 of a second is going on the clock. I knew they couldn't put 2 seconds on the clock. Check it out with the clock here. Now, he flushed it before the time ran out. Jim O'Brien is saying to him, you can't put time back on the clock. There's no way there should be time on the clock. Watch the game clock up here. I mean, if you want to rule them in the cylinder, okay, but you can't put back on the clock.
I'm with you, Mike. And it was coming out the right side. It was off the front of the rim. That's a terrible call.
The Hawks just run out the time. We're going to overtime. Celtics come back from a 12-point deficit. 5 minutes of basketball left. 89 apiece.
Jetters says that's his shit.
You want to get away? Fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by December 12th.
You are now free to move about the country.
How much is the Hyundai Elantra with automatic transmission and air conditioning?
Under $13,000.
Shut up. What if I want power windows, locks, and mirrors?
Same price.
Shut up. And front and side airbags?
Same price. He's gonna hit me.
The Hyundai Elantra GLS for just $12,799. When you get more than you'd expect, including America's best warranty, you win. Hyundai and the Jimmy Fund, helping kids fight cancer.
We're back for 5 bonus minutes of basketball here, 89 apiece. As the Celtics and Hawks are headed for OT, the first of 2 this weekend between these two clubs. Here's another look.
Well, hits the front of the rim, and I think it comes off to the right.
Yeah.
All right? And they said it was no good. Look to me. Let's see it from another angle. That's off the front to the right of the rim.
From that angle, it does look like he pushed it back towards the
basket. It's off the front to the right of the rim. That wasn't directly. That wasn't over the cylinder. That was off to the... And, you know, he had the guy that called the goaltending had the worst possible angle.
He didn't have a good one. I agree with you 100% on that. It was Ron Garretson who made the call.
And he had the worst possible angle. He was on the right side, way out.
All right, here we go in overtime. It'll be Bati and Abdul Rahim. Make that Ratliff to jump it up. Abdul Rahim, Newble, Terry, and Robinson all stay out there. South win the tip. Walter McCarty remains out there for defensive purposes on Robinson. See if Boston can get a lead here. Pierce goes inside to Walker. Walker. Offensive foul. And a technical foul.
Well, this is ridiculous at this stage of the game. Well, Antoine ought to get out of there.
Terry makes the team. And the Hawks get the ball up by 1, 90 to 89. Boston turned on the defense there and held the Hawks to no field goals in the final 5 minutes and 30 seconds of the first half. Of the second half. But they find themselves in overtime. Robinson blocked by McCarty from behind. Walter the other way. Walter to Antoine. Straightaway three. Yeah! Big boom, Antoine! 25 for Walker.
I said it for 2.
Get out of here. 92. No, it's a 3 because they went down 1 because of the technical foul.
Right.
Out of bounds. Abdul Rahim. Boston ball.
You're right.
Thanks, buddy.
I'm glad you're right.
Pierce coming in to help out on the defense there. Antoine turns. Couple of fakes. Back to Bati. Tony. No. Rebound Newble. Robinson giving it up pretty quickly. Abdul Rahim. Newble's going to take it and make it. Kids responded here tonight. The Celtics have left him open. He's made some shots. He's got 11. We're tied at 92. Yeah, how about that? 7 minutes without a field goal for the Hawks. Pierce. Foul is on Rattler. I tell you, there are some whistles going on out there right now where everybody's looking at each other and wondering, like, who's the foul on? That one came from out of nowhere.
Well, he pushed Tony Petit into the pit with his hands.
Tony Delk gets it to Pierce. Pierce is going to take it. Make it. 32 for Pierce. Delk up a hoop. Terry. Abdul Rahim, bad shot. Walter McCarty got there. And a foul is called, I believe, on Newble. Yep.
And he's gone, isn't he?
No, it's his fifth.
Pierce does a nice job right there, right on the ball. And there's the bang by Newble on Walter, who was right there. Walter on the spot for the rebound.
Celtics trying to make this a two-possession game now, up by 2 in the ball. And it might be back to the third quarter before that was the case. Pierce, Robinson knocks it away. Pierce goes for it. Jump ball. Pierce, Abdul Rahim. Quick hands by Robinson here to come up with this.
Robinson got the hands right in there. Watch this. Boom. As Pierce was dribbling, high dribble right in front of him.
I'm surprised you don't see more guys stick hands in like that, because these players all do that crossover routine.
Well, you got to get your hand down low.
Got to get the guys pointing the right way.
Do not let Terry take off on this play.
Delk in the right spot. Abdul Rahim easily controlled the tip. Pierce, had a chance back door there. Now Antoine off the dribble. Misses the three.
You got to go to the basket at this stage. You cannot shoot those shots. Get the who's ever going to take it to the basket. Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Take it to the hoop.
2:05 left to go here. They jump out on Terry. Skips it across to Abdul Rahim. Abdul Rahim off the dribble. Swallowed up by the Celtic defense. Terry in the paint. Hits the follower.
Oh, that's a nice shot.
First field goal in forever for these guys. Oh, excuse me, Newble hit that shot. Second field goal of the overtime. Robinson nearly came up with the steal. 9 on the shot clock. Pierce has a screen from Walker. Goes the other way. Misses the three. Hawks a chance now to take the lead. Terry. And a timeout is given. Terry's okay. 14 on the shot clock when we get back. Tie game.
So, how was Florida?
Nice.
A lot of pretty girls on the beach? What? Probably wearing bikinis, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Pretty girls in bikinis.
Right now, fly Southwest Airlines for just $39 to $99 each way when you purchase by December 12th. So get packing.
You are now free to move about the country.
or finance by December 31st and your first payments on us.
We're back 94 apiece, a minute 16 to go here in, or it could be the first overtime tonight. Get some good defense by Walter McCarty.
I want to tell you, he's a perfect matchup for the big dog. Watch that. He's challenging him right on the shooting hand, forces him to pass. Right there, bothers the rhythm of the shot. Comes from behind, takes it away. So he's taking the biscuit away from the big dog.
Robinson just 2 points in the fourth quarter and overtime, and that's the time that Walter McCarty's been in. All 5 of the Atlanta starters right now in double digits. And they've got 14 seconds here to get a shot off in a tie game. Terry on Delp gets a screen from Ratliff. Terry's going to take it. Rebound. Pearson's got it. Delp a chance to take control. They get it to Petit. Antoine finds Pierce. Pierce turns on Robinson. They clear it out for Pierce. Makes a move to the basket. Has it knocked away. Nothing called. It comes to Abdul Rahim.
Well, he took it to the hoop, and Ratliff was right there.
Terry again. Abdul Rahim comes up for the jumper. No. Rebound. Tip. Saved nicely by Petit.
I'll tell you, that's a Tommy point.
And once again, the Celtics have it with about a 2-second difference in the clock. See if they can fare any better this time. Antoine. Tony Delp. Before the shot is fouled. So on the side, that means the shot clock is now off. And we're going to get a timeout. The Celtics will have it out of bounds in a tie game with 7.6 seconds to go. And we'll stay right here. These two teams are going to be sick of the sight of each other by about 10:30 tomorrow night.
Now take a look at this. Great defense coming up here. The Celtics jam Terry. They go on Abdul Rahim. Somehow or other, they bother that shot. That's wide of the mark, and everybody's jamming the defensive boards. And there's Petit, who was hanging out of bounds. Keeps it live for the Celtics.
A concerned young fan right there. Let's check out our Dodge NBA leaders tonight. As I had mentioned earlier, Tony Delp with a fine season and is now #1 in the NBA in three-point field goal percentage. Approaching 51%, Brent Barry and Michael Redd behind him. Let's see for whom Jim O'Brien calls a play. Pierce has got 32. Walker's got 25. Delp has got 3.
You got to take the shot and hope also, like the last play that didn't count, somebody gets an offensive rebound. They have one timeout left. Boston has one timeout left.
Walter McCarty will make the inbounds pass. 7.6 seconds to get a shot off, or we go to a second overtime. Comes into Pierce, turns on Robinson. Pierce takes it to the basket. No! Rebound slapped out. Terry calls a timeout with 1 second on the clock. Pierce, a good look on a clean drive to the hoop, and he couldn't finish it.
Now, here's where Paul Pierce heads to the hoop, comes out, puts it underneath the big dog, goes to the basket, and was really intimidated by Ratliff. He went to the weak side, and he lost his legs on that one and was on the way down instead of on the way up. I mean, this is tough play. There he going strong, and now he's coming down, and he's just trying to kiss it off the glass. Then there was Tony Petit trying to flush it back in after the miss. But they will have 1 second to win this ball game.
Well, we go to a second overtime. What's your 1 second play?
Well, you know, the normal thing is a lob. I don't know if they can get a lob. And if Jim O'Brien doesn't get all over the guy taking the ball out of bounds, I hope we get all over the ball inbounded so the guy can not look for a lob and make everybody come out.
Very difficult. Possible, but very difficult to catch and then shoot in a second.
Not that difficult. It's, you know, you can time the play for 1 second, a lob play, or even in the corner if the guy is turned. By the time he catches and turns, the 1 second may be over.
Atlanta has used a 20-second timeout here to get a little more time. Indiana rolling over Orlando tonight. Wow. Tracy McGrady and Grant Hill have been playing well. Now tonight, I guess, 106-70, the Pacers continue to set the pace in the Eastern Conference. How about New Jersey? Think they were hacked off after the win the other night? 120-79 over
I'll tell you, I would put Shundorf in this game to take the man putting the ball in play.
Walter McCarty is going to cover the inbounds pass. And now Tony Battie comes out to cover the inbounds pass. It'll be Ratliff making the pass just off to our left. And now they're going to move and change the position a little bit. Battie again looking to prevent the loss. Ratliff gets it in. Newble makes the catch. And it was partially blocked. Pierce got a piece of it. Will go to a second overtime. We have got a timeout. 5 minutes more of basketball to come your way. Overtime number 1 is over.
This is a man who gave up his regular pants. He wears pants that look regular, but they're not. They're Hager Comfort Fit pants, and they have a hidden, flexible waist that's very, very comfortable. This is a man who needs flexible pants. Comfort Fit waist, only from Hager.
We are back, about to start the second OT here on a Friday night at the Fleet as the Celtics and Hawks are tied at 94 apiece. Let's take a look at that last attempt here by the Atlanta Hawks. Ratliff making the inbounds pass and is able to get it in. You can see Newble goes and sets the screen and pops outside. He made the catch. And, well, it was pretty close. He might have got it off. But Pierce was right there on the shooting hand, and so we'll play 5 more minutes of basketball. Same 5 come out for the Hawks. Robinson, Newble, Ratliff, Terry, and Abdul Rahim. Boston also sticks with the same 5 who have played the overtime. Last time the Celtics went to double overtime was March 24th of 2 years ago. They lost in Philadelphia 117-115. There are the numbers through 53 minutes of basketball. Tap is stolen by Walker. Gets it ahead to Pierce, and he is hit by Jason Terry. Correct that. That foul was on Robinson. He picks up his 3rd. I thought he put up 31. He put up 13. Delk off the dribble. Tony. Walter thought about it. Walter lays it down.
Key for 2. I'm going to tell you, that's going to be there all night in this overtime period because Ratliff is going to every penetration. 18 points for Tony Battie, a season high.
Outside, Terry steps up for a three. No rebound, but Tony is the man here.
All right, same thing. Take it.
Delk. Full attack inside, and Walker missed it. Out of bounds. Celtics keep it. Antoine can't believe he missed that one.
Great pass. Got to make those, Antoine. There's a smile on Tony Delk's face. Right there. Boom.
He had time to actually catch it and then put it up. He tried to do it all in one motion.
Wow. He's doing what I was talking about, you know. Try to put it off the glass so they can't block it.
Walker gets it to Pierce. Robinson there defensively. Pierce turns on. Ratliff came. They found Battie in and out.
Well, they're saying we'll sink or swim with Tony Battie making that shot, but he is definitely the open man.
Abdul Rahim.
Battie, nicely done by Rahim.
20 points for Abdul Rahim.
Abdul Rahim works it in here on Antoine. Heads one way, then rolls the other way, and then falls away.
Jason Terry committed that foul. Excuse me, Tom. That's his fifth personal foul. So Newble and Terry are both on the floor with 5 fouls. Pierce, little pull-up. Got it.
Come on, baby. Well, make it a 2-possession game and see what they're made of.
34 for Pierce. Robinson with McCarty there defensively. Robinson trying to make something happen. Can't. Rebound Battie.
I'll tell you, Walter's done a tune on Robinson.
He sure has.
And Walter be good on with tunes, you know?
Pierce turns, streaks to the basket, puts it up off the clock for 2.
All right, one more stop, baby. Stop this one. Dig it down, baby. Bend the knees.
4-point game, 100-96. Terry. Robinson for 3. No rebound. Pierce.
Come on, one more, once.
The Celtics have held Atlanta to 11 points in the last 14 minutes. Pierce to Walker. Antoine. Fall away.
Yeah, that's a biggie.
Timeout, Hawks. They are loving it here at the Fleet.
You know what, man? Why did they take away the end zone game? Man, I like that, man. Billy White Shoe Johnson. Remember that? I like that. What's your favorite? What's my favorite movie?
Yeah, your favorite.
I think it was basically the Icky. The Icky was my
I love it. Icky was.
Like you guys used to have a grenade. I love that, man.
They grabbed the ball, everybody fall out. Belly bump.
Billy Bump was the bomb, man.
Come on, boy, give it to me.
The NFL Show with Irvin, Siragusa, and Davidson. Saturday and Sunday on Fox Sports Net.
Hey, settle down. Now, don't worry. If Keyshawn Johnson said he'll be here, he'll be here.
We'd like to welcome in a guy who always finds time to be on the show, Keyshawn Johnson.
Well, great stuff coming up here in this overtime. You watch this as Pierce gets by Big Dog and a pull-up and then goes to glass on that one. And there's the fall away by Antoine. And they have matched the offense with some sterling defense, which they need to do again right now.
Still a ways to go here. Atlanta just 1 for 4 in the second overtime. The Celtics 4 out of their last 6. And that's why they've got this 102-96 lead with 2:03 to go. But that's still just a 2-possession game.
Yeah, make them work some time off the clock, too.
They jump out on Terry. He gives it up to Abdul Rahim. Looking to cut it in half. Can't, and Pierce has got it with 1:51 to go.
Get it over, get it over. Take it to the hoop. They're in foul trouble.
They get it to Pierce. Pierce got Abdul Rahim in a switch. They go back, trying to pick on Robinson. Antoine taking him to the hoop. Too hard off the glass. Tony Battie almost had it, but Robinson came away with it. Walter McCarty catches up. Abdul Rahim, reach-in foul is going to be called on Walter.
Here comes Big Dog, finds the open man, Abdul Rahim, and got a piece of his arm.
Just the first foul on Walter, who's played a heck of a defensive game here.
You know, Walter can do the same thing against smaller people because he's exceptionally quick and mobile for a man his size. All he has to do is back off a little bit, get that left hand up, and he's going to bother any good shooter. And he's done that this evening against Robinson.
Tony Delk comes back for the ball. Will screen by Antoine to give him some room to bring it up, and then Antoine will get it across the line. Abdul Rahim out to meet him defensively. Antoine gets it back. They go to Pierce. 10 seconds on the shot clock. A minute 10 to go in the game. Pierce going to take it. No. Rebound, but T taps it. Terry's got it. Hawks can get to within 1 with a 3. Abdul Rahim. No. Rebound, Walker. Under a minute to go. Boston the ball in a 4-point lead. Antoine gets it across. Basket here would be huge. Antoine into the lane, kicks it, Delk for 3. Yes! Tony Delk picking his spot.
That was the frosting on the cake. And Antoine had that in mind the whole time. And Tony Delk did not have a particularly great ball game during regulation, but came up with some big shots just when they needed them. And none bigger than this right here. Here comes Antoine and had him spotted all the way and on the catch. Tony Delk is up and off with the shot. Beautifully executed.
Only the second bucket for Delk. The 10th assist for Antoine Walker, who has his 12th career triple-double here tonight. Antoine with 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. And that should be lights out, Steve.
Well, it's not. And
oh, come on.
It's not.
Come on.
I mean, we're heading for the switch, though. Now, what you got to do right now is make them take time off the clock on their own offense. They're going to be shooting threes, and do not foul them. Do not foul them. And one and done. After they take the shot, you got to get the miss.
These two clubs are going to go back at it tomorrow night. Hope you can join us 7 o'clock. We will be in Atlanta. And you don't get this. Maybe twice over the course of the season you get back.
See that guy with the hat on the right there?
No.
That was a triple header. He had 3 hats on.
Let's
show that guy again.
Let's play 3. All right, let's see what the Hawks try to do here. 36.6 left to go in the second overtime. Boston has opened up a 7-point lead at 105-98.
Come on, Walter, stay with Robinson.
Hawks obviously looking for a quick shot here to see if the Celtics can make them work. They've done a great job shutting them off down the stretch. They jump out on Terry. Robinson. That was an excellent defensive job by the Celtics. Tony Delk comes away with the rebound. And a foul is called, and they definitely know where the light switch is at the moment. 21.5 seconds to go. Hawks are not over the limit here, so the Celtics are going to inbound the basketball. They get it in quickly to Pierce. Jason Terry's not going to foul him. Pierce dribbles through a crowd, doing his best Harlem Globetrotter imitation. And the Hawks aren't going to foul. We will go to Atlanta, a winner. 105-98, the final score here tonight. The Celtics beat the Hawks by 7 in double overtime.
Well, right now it's time for my Tommy Award, Mike, and that's brought to you by J.N. Phillips Auto Glass. And Tony Bati's my man tonight. There he is, little pick, makes that one on the roll. Watch this, right there with a good hand for a key basket. This was key, hit 2 big free throws, jammed it beautifully. Watch here at the end. This is the real Tommy point of the night, the extra save there. So he gets the Tommy Award, brought to you by J.N. Phillips Auto Glass. My guy.
18 points, 12 rebounds for Tony Bati, and now the guy who had his 12th career triple-double. And here's our Bob Stewart interview with Willie May and Antoine Walker.
Well, thanks, Mike. Tommy, captain, never say die. Never count this team out.
We was going to fight. You know, we wasn't playing well. Glenn Robinson was killing us. But I got to give the victory to Walter McCarty. He came in and did a great job on Big Dog, and he allowed us to pick up our intensity and get things going. Paul did a good job of keeping us in the game when things weren't going well for us, and we just continue to fight. I mean, this team has got a lot of heart. We're just going to continue to work. This is a big win for us on our home floor. Atlanta poses a big problem for us because they're very big. It's very difficult to post them up and get easy buckets, but we did a good job of moving the ball when we had to and coming up with big plays.
Talk about Tony Bati. He was big, too. Tony Delk. The two Tonys doing that thing?
Well, we've been getting that all year. The contribution from everybody on this team. We got, 8, 9 guys that are contributing night in, night out, man. That's the great thing about having, a good team like this. We can score the basketball, but we play some defense that fourth quarter and the 2 overtimes, and we showed a lot of heart early in the season.
When did you see and feel yourself starting to get into a rhythm?
Well, we never gave up. We knew 10 points was nothing. We just needed a couple stops. We knew we were making minor mistakes. We was holding our heads down because we wasn't making shots. And like I said, we just fed off Ross' defensive energy. He started got a couple steals. He was forcing Big Dog into some bad shots, and we just, fed off his energy. So it basically was really Ross tonight. I really was impressed with the defense he did.
Tomorrow night is going to be another toughie, and it's tough playing the team back-to-back, isn't it?
Well, they're going to be upset, and obviously that, but it's good. Both teams played in overtime. It's the same team. We both got the same trouble. And hopefully we can come out a little more energy. We're going to have to go deeper in the bench, so guys are going to have to be ready to play. But it's a big game for us.
Yeah, congratulations. Go get a shower. Have a good trip down to Atlanta. Mike, Tommy, Antoine Walker, his 12th career triple-double.
Willie's post-game interview was brought to you by Bob Stores. Get real casual, real brands, and real great prices at Bob Stores. Our Friendly's colossal player of the game, it was Paul Pierce. Paul came up with another terrific night here, as he had 36 points and 14 rebounds to go with 4 assists. And Paul able to answer the bell when the Celtics needed it, especially late in the game, looking like the Paul Pierce of last year with the big fourth quarter points. Visit your neighborhood Friendly's. Friendly's, great food and ice cream. Stay tuned for New England Sports tonight. Post-game with Greg Dixon and Gary Tangway. We'll have all the post-game reaction from here. Greg and Gary will discuss the Celtics, the Patriots, and anything else you want to hear them talk about. We'll be right back.
Man, it's so awesome hanging out in the hot tub with Derek Fisher. Thanks for having me over, Don. No problem. I do for you. Maybe you can do for me sometime. That's right. Hey, why don't you be on my show next week? You know what? That'd be superb.
You gotta help me with my wardrobe here.
Yeah.
What's next?
The red flowing stuff.
NBA action. This week, Rashard Lewis and the Sonics are looking super, while two superstars square off, AI and MJ. Plus, Rockets rookie Yao Ming has a breakout game. We'll look back at Sixers great Mo Cheeks. And as always, bring you the top 10 plays of the week. Taking you into the action in the Western Conference for the league's surprise team, the Seattle Sonics. For Gary Payton and the Sonics, last season brought 45 wins and a trip to the playoffs. But it also brought a disappointing finish. Though the underdog Sonics gave Tim Duncan and the Spurs all they could handle, they lost to San Antonio in 5 games in the first round. But this year, Payton is determined to write a different ending. The 13-year veteran is playing as well as ever, and at the same time, he's helping Coach Nate McMillan guide a young group of Sonics.
There will be different roles for all of our players this year. This is the first year Gary Payton has not had an all-star to play alongside him. You know, throughout his career, it's always been an all-star there with him.
I'm the oldest guy on the team this year, and I think that, you know, I have to be the one to keep everybody's spirits up. I got to keep everybody happy. I think that's my job. I'm going to go into it just trying to have fun and then win basketball games. If we're winning, it's going to be fun.
Out of backcourt to Mason. He's going to get on the horse and leap to the cup for an explosive right-handed jam. The Sonics have 2 rising stars in Desmond Mason and Rashard Lewis, each with his own style of play. Lewis is one of the best young forwards in the NBA, while Mason is the league's former slam dunk champion. But both know they still have plenty of room for improvement.
We're just going to have to be more this year aggressive with the ball. I've been talking to the staff and the organization about, me just being more aggressive with the ball from an offensive standpoint.
As for Rashard Lewis, he's a man of many talents at many positions who can provide anything the team needs.
He's a very versatile player. I think he can play 3 positions, possibly 4. I think you can allow him to handle the ball a little, but he definitely can play the 2, 3, and some 4. He's a very good shooter. He sees the floor. You know, he can handle the ball.
Adding scoring punch off the Seattle bench is Vladimir Radmanovich. Later, Radmanovich has a step on Jackson, glides to the glass, and packs him with a right hand. Another key reserve is center Predrag Drobniak. While at point guard, the Sonics acquired veteran Kenny Anderson from Boston as a dependable backup for Gary Payton.
I can use my creativity, get to the basket, penetrate, hit the shots when I'm open. You know, just be Kenny Anderson. I've been my whole career.
Meanwhile, Brent Barry adds even more firepower to the backcourt with his slashing drives to the hoop. But as always, the team's success rests on the shoulders of Gary Payton.
In crucial times, I got to be the guy that, want to take the big shot. I got to be the guy that want to make a big shot happen or, get it to the right guy in a crucial time that he can take the big shot and make some confidence with it. If I can get us some more wins, I think we'll be just fine.
And there's been plenty of wins so far as the Sonics are 8-3. And with young stars like Desmond Mason, things are looking up in Seattle. Desmond Mason! And the Sonics think this could turn out to be a super season.
A lot of these guys that are here are excited about this season. Not saying that we're going to be the best team out there, but I think that we're going to be one of those teams that's going to be hard to beat. The future will be bright for our organization. I think we've added some solid young guys. It's just a matter of us being patient and giving these guys an opportunity to grow and develop and understand, learn how to play the NBA game.
Now let's check out the NBA.com Pacific standings. The Seattle Sonics continue to lead the pack by a half game over the Kings.
The Suns are in third place, followed by the Trailblazers. The Clippers are fifth. The Lakers are sixth. In the Midwest Division, it's the league's only undefeated team, the Dallas Mavericks, leading the way. They're followed by the Houston Rockets and San Antonio Spurs. The Minnesota Timberwolves are fourth, while the Utah Jazz are in fifth place. Sportsnet. Now we take you back into the action, this time in the East, with a marquee matchup between the Sixers and Wizards. After 6 NBA championships with the Bulls, Michael Jordan came out of retirement last season to play for the Wizards. Now he's trying to lead this young team into the playoffs. And this week, he led them into Philadelphia to face the Sixers.
The 76ers are the Eastern Conference champions!
That was 2 seasons ago when Allen Iverson led Philadelphia to the NBA Finals, being named league MVP along the way. This year, Iverson's once again playing the starring role, but with a new supporting cast, as the Sixers acquired sharpshooter Keith Van Horn from the New Jersey Nets. Iverson's Sixers and Jordan's Wizards met in Philadelphia, a matchup that had everyone pumped up. Even before the game, Michael Jordan's always the center of attention. As for his coach, his attention was focused on the Sixers.
I think anytime you play them, you have to take care of the ball. When you look at them, they are exceptionally quick, and they feed off of steals and easy scoring opportunities.
And the Sixers would prove Doug's point right from the opening tip. Their swarming defense led to steals and easy baskets, and by halftime, Philadelphia led it by 13.
Wizards not prepared for the full court pressure. They turn the ball over. You've got to be ready against this team, or they will eat you alive.
And Keith Van Horn would feast on the Wizards for 23 points. But Washington stayed within striking distance, thanks to Michael Jordan and Jerry Stackhouse, who unleashed their 1-2 punch on the Sixers.
Stackhouse stayed away, got him. He is on fire. Stackhouse again pulls the trigger and has another one. He is blazing. 12 points in the period for Stackhouse. He's missed one shot in 6 attempts. MJ wide open for the baseline jumper, nothing but net. MJ off the screen, fadeaway, beauty. You know, he has been unbelievably hot.
But as hot as Michael was, Philadelphia had the answer in the form of Allen Iverson.
Yeah, they count the field goal from Iverson, who makes it the only way he can.
Boy, it's so tough, Iverson. You think you have him pinned in, and he's able to get around you.
Iverson against Lou. Great move, unbelievable.
He's able to elevate so quickly. When he stops, he's already on his way up in the air, and it's tough for a defender to recover.
Iverson using that right arm, and it doesn't matter. 26 points for the former Georgetown star in his 7th year.
Finishing with 28, Allen had the feeling no one could stop him. But he praised his teammates for stopping the Wizards.
We just did a good job of helping each other out there on the basketball court and talking to each other. You know, once you do a lot of talking and helping on defense, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a successful defensive game.
The Sixers won it by 16 as Michael's young teammates learned yet another tough lesson.
We kind of lost our voice a little bit, and for us to be a good team, we're going to have to learn how to play through those types of situations, and especially on the road, you got to be very, very solid, very smart. You got to be almost like a veteran team, and today I think we play like a young team.
Now let's check out the NBA.com Atlantic Division standings. The Sixers are in second place, a game behind the New Jersey Nets. The Celtics are third, while the Magic are fourth. In the Central Division, surprising Indiana continues to set the pace, with the Pistons and Hornets tied for second. They're followed by the Hawks and the Bucks. We're back with more NBA action. Time now to log on to NBA.com as the polls open to elect this year's NBA All-Star team. The city of Atlanta will play host to the 2003 NBA All-Star Game. And now fans around the world can begin casting their ballots for their favorite players.
Now, starting today, you can vote online at NBA.com. And for the first time ever, NBA.com is offering ballots in Chinese and Spanish.
Some of the greatest players in Hawks history were on hand to cast their own votes, including the human highlight film, Dominique Wilkins.
Well, I went with Jason Kidd as well and Jason Terry.
Yeah. 60 players from each conference are listed on the ballot. And as fans vote for the starters, it'll build their anticipation for February's All-Star Game.
Number one, they become aware early of the fact that the All-Star Game is coming, the date of it, and it gets them involved, and they get interested in it. And then they get interested in seeing, watching the game and seeing how the players they voted for play it.
Well, it's a great honor, to be on the ballot. I played for a year and a half, but, people still respect me enough to have me on the ballot, so that's always a great thing.
Another player on the ballot is the big man from China, Houston's Yao Ming. And when the Rockets visited Los Angeles, Yao showed everyone why he was the NBA's top draft pick, having his best game of the season.
Ming walks the top baseline and does reverse layup is good, and Yao Ming looking very solid.
Yao Ming was on fire, shooting 9 for 9 from the field. In just 23 minutes of action, he scored a career-high 20 points to go along with 6 rebounds as he dominated the court.
Here comes Francis, drop pass to Yao Ming. The layup and the foul, the big fella running the floor.
Yeah, it was Yao's NBA coming-out party as he displayed his full range of talents while leading the Rockets to victory over the Lakers.
Hawkins down the lane, gives to Yao Ming, slam dunk, and the foul.
Yao Ming having a lot of fun out there tonight.
Time now for more NBA action. Now we profile a star point guard who became head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Mo Cheeks, in this week's Time Out. In recent years, the Portland Trail Blazers have been a team loaded with talent, but they've often lacked chemistry and cohesiveness. So in 2001, the Blazers hired Maurice Cheeks as their head coach, hoping he could bring some of the qualities they've been missing.
I am trying to put more of a team aspect on the team because I believe you win basketball games that way.
The 76ers of the late 70s were much like the Blazers of today, a star-studded team that couldn't gel as a unit.
I would say more than half of that team wanted to be the star or thought that he was the star. The egos were scary, and you can't win that way.
After a disappointing loss in the 1977 finals, the Sixers began searching for a floor leader who could bring the team together. They would look to West Texas State University, which had embarked on a search of its own several years earlier.
My assistant watched a lot of Chicago public high school games, and one of the top players was a guy by the name of William Dice. We asked him to visit, but he would not visit, or said he wouldn't, unless he brought along his friend, which we didn't know anything about. His friend happened to be Maurice.
At West Texas State, Mo Cheeks earned all-conference honors 3 years in a row. He was chosen by Philadelphia in the second round of the '78 draft. But many wondered how his quiet demeanor would fit in with the team's boisterous personalities.
I remember Maurice Cheeks first came into the league. As a matter of fact, I let him stay at my house a few times. Maurice Cheeks had an afro so big he couldn't get it all in the picture. And Henry Fitter used to tease him all the time because he didn't have a jump shot.
I came to camp and I was actually waiting on someone to tell me I was cut because we just had a lot of big-name guys at the time, and I just never really thought I had a chance.
Not only did Maurice Cheeks make the squad, he was named the starting point guard, and his team-oriented style soon began to rub off on the Sixers. They became a more unselfish team as Cheeks ran the show calmly and efficiently.
Like that.
Once we got Maurice Cheeks, that was an absolute freedom, for me because he looked to pass first rather than shoot first.
Here's a 2-on-2 break. Cheeks created it all.
He made his decision before guys were open. The ball was already in the air before the guy came off the kick, but when he was open, the ball got into his hands before the defensive man had time to recover. And very few ball players have that knack.
Bring it down into the corner once the defense can do something.
Well, every coach needs an extension on the floor, and Mo was exactly that for Billy Cunningham. He was intuitive about the game. He had a real high level of understanding.
I remember as a young reporter telling my son, if you want to learn the game, watch Maurice Cheeks. You can enjoy Dr. J. You can't do what he does. You can learn to do the things that Maurice does. You can learn to do the basics.
What a beautiful pass by Mo Cheeks.
With Maurice Cheeks in charge, the Sixers returned to the NBA Finals 3 times in 4 years in the early 80s. And in 1983, they steamrolled through the playoffs with a 12-1 record, culminating with their crowning achievement, a 4-game sweep of the L.A. Lakers.
The Philadelphia 76ers, Maurice Cheeks, quiet, knows they're going to be the one team, folks.
We had a great team. I mean, Moses Doc, Andrew Toney, Bobby Jones. We had a great nucleus for winning that championship.
What I thought was intriguing, for all the leadership qualities he possessed, he was silent about it. He was not a rah-rah guy. He was all about getting everybody involved in the offense and then biting you at the right time.
And there's a steal by Cheeks.
Cheeks didn't just direct the Sixers' offense. He spearheaded the defense as well. And his prowess would make him a 4-time member of the NBA's all-defensive team.
There he's doing what he does best, picking someone's pocket.
My rookie year, I remember the first time I played against Maurice, and I remember watching him. I used to say, oh, he's not that great as a defensive player. And the first 2 quarters, it seemed like he was almost letting me bring the ball up, but he was getting closer, and he was intensifying the pressure each quarter. Then by the 3rd quarter, he was everywhere I was at, he was at. In the 4th quarter, I thought he was inside of me.
Don't keep your eye away from Maurice Cheeks. That's tomorrow.
At the crunch time of the game, he always seemed to be able to come up with the definitive defensive play to turn the game. We almost came to expect it on a nightly basis.
Intercepted by Cheeks. Kaminsky back. Cheeks dunks it.
But after being perennial title contenders, the 76ers began to fade in the late 1980s, falling victim to age and injuries. One by one, their stars departed, and in 1989, it was Mo Cheeks' turn as he was traded to San Antonio.
It was pretty much a shock. It's something, it's just like bad news, man. I don't.
But Mo set aside his disappointment and became a mentor for younger players. Cheeks would play for 5 different teams, ending his career with New Jersey.
I can remember him coming to the Nets to sort of advise others, and that's the respect I think everybody in the league had for him.
I knew the game, and I knew I could teach part of the game to other people and other players, and that's what I wanted to do.
Today in Portland, Maurice Cheeks is continuing his role as a teacher. He's trying to instill some of the values he displayed during his great career with the 76ers.
I hope my team can turn out the way it did when I was in Philadelphia, when they kept talking about we had a lot of individual play, because we molded ourselves into one of the very best basketball teams, and it was a team play. And I hope this team here can somehow resemble that team.
Welcome back to NBA action. All right, time now for the top 10 plays of the week in our NBA TV countdown. Starting at number 10, Stephon Marbury gets the win off the window.
Marbury all the way goes! Come on, Rockets! Phoenix leads by
1. At 9, Steve Smith to Tim Duncan. And speaking of Duncan, check this out.
Should be. And there's a monster slam by Tim Duncan. Statue of Liberty me.
In at number 8, Chris Webber is king for a day with his game-winning shot.
Yes! He wanted it, he got it, and it was true from the time it left his hands.
In at number 7, it's a soaring rocket, Stevie Francis.
Oh! Stevie Francis came out of the stands!
At 6, it's the Nets' Jason Kidd with a special delivery to Kenyon Martin.
Here's a lob that is finished. Kenyon Martin. How good was that pass? Jason made it look like he was going to take a jump shot and just put it right in front of the rim.
At number 5, Allen Iverson with his own wizardry against Washington.
And another foul is called on Washington. It will count.
At 4, Cav Ricky Davis goes airborne on Steve Nash.
Ricky in the hole with explosion and one.
I think he jumped over Steve Nash.
At number 3, Ron Artest wins it for the Pacers with this circus shot.
Artest Ron Artest falling out of bounds miraculously gets the shot to go.
At 2, it's showtime in Golden State, starring Gilbert Arenas and Jason Richardson.
Knocked away by Arenas. Ahead to Jason. Look out! Oh, my goodness. They're standing in the arena on that one. The pass off the steal and the finish.
And with the number 1 play of the week, Seattle's high-flying Desmond Mason.
Mason.
That's our show for this week. Lastly, fans on NBA.com voted for this Cuttino Mobley alley-oop to Steve Francis as the number 1 play of the week, and it's worth another look. Remember, you can vote for your favorite play all season long by logging on to the league's official website, NBA.com. I'm Jim Fagan for NBA Action. See you next week.